stuff. We kind of get away with it. Your speaker working?
I know if you could keep speaking. Try.
No audio, see? Doesn't come up. No, no. Oh, I hear something there. My phone. Oh, it's coming out now. It's working now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep listening.
What did you do?
It's this app. Sometimes you got to keep changing the input.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're good.
What app's this?
Restream.
Okay. All right, call hello. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honor to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And you know what we do, man? We're gonna come out. We're gonna bring out the prophecies, man. You know, trust in the word of the Heavenly Father. Don't trust in the counsel of the word of man, and you can't go wrong. Right now, you know, Trump is he's the big thing. He's the the in thing. And he's talking a bag of thing, and you got all these people getting excited, you know, by the promises that he's saying that he gonna usher in the kingdom of heaven or something.
The investments.
But if you stick to the scriptures, you will never be dismayed, and you can't go wrong. So we're gonna go into the prophecy and show you that America is at its end, and then no one's gonna change that. No one's gonna turn that back around because they don't have that kind of power. All right, they're gonna do what they're doing, and everything they do is gonna lead to the end or the violent destruction of Babylon the Great. Simple as that. All right.
I just want to read this from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. So, but of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. But when they shall say peace and safety, right? Because they're putting out Trump as some sort of messiah. That he's going to save America, right? Make America great again. He's investing in this technology, and we're going to make things better than it's ever been, as you might say.
The golden age.
Yeah.
Which when he says golden age, he ain't even talking about what these idiots think they're talking about.
So for when they shall say peace and safety, I'm gonna feed you this false hope.
You're gonna live the life.
But destruction's on the way.
Listen, inflation is gonna continue.
Yep.
The murderings are gonna continue. The thieving, all the evil is gonna continue. Because what's the one thing they're not talking about? The one thing they're not talking about is a change in righteousness being established in the earth. These people ain't changed. But when Trump got brought into power, did all of a sudden man decided they didn't want to murder no more? The man decided they don't want to commit adultery no more. The man decided they don't want to be a batty man no more. Because he ain't outlawing being a batty man.
You know, he keeps saying he is, but he's not.
But he hasn't. He's not, and he doesn't intend to. He's got batty man in his cabinet.
Yeah.
That's all.
Newly
That's all.
appointed as well.
Yeah, newly appointed. That's just all. They're fake little left-right fighting over fake shit that don't really mean nothing. Right? He ain't. What's more important is the hearts of the people ain't changed. The man that was wicked the day before the inauguration is still wicked the day after. And I guarantee you, people were still murdering, killing, stealing,
probably went up.
Adultery,
gun sales probably
all
went
forms,
up,
man. Fraud, everything's still going on. It didn't change. Or they're talking about, they're gonna make America healthy again. They ain't making America healthy again for nobody. They want to feed man bugs. UN
maggot milk.
Just to prove that they're a bunch of hypocrites again. Because the same time he was making that speech at the convention before the inauguration, he was saying he's going to get rid of the converters and the transformers and that. But then he started singing YMCA.
Yeah, which he actually didn't say he would get rid of them. He said they're going to reduce. They're going to reduce the operations by federal funding. So basically, what they're saying is they're going to stop spending money, like basically funding it federally. That's a very different.
So someone else could afford it on their own selves.
Yeah, or state funding. That's very different to saying how you're gonna ban or you're gonna put a. You see, you gotta listen to what these men say.
But then he was singing YMCA, doing the whole dance on stage. YMCA is a straight flamer song. Everyone knows that. That's an alphabet song.
And they're doing it in your face.
Yeah.
Now all the MAGA man them that love Jesus is singing YMCA. Oh man, it's crazy out here.
Wow.
When they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Because we still, there's still birthing pains in this system, man, and they're not going away. In fact, they're intensifying and becoming more frequent.
Yeah, he talking about inflation, right? Now, when you look at the economy, inflation will never go away because the system is designed for inflation to happen. It's part of the New World Order plan to inflate inflation, because inflation is going to cause the pain that they need to bring the new system where they go, oh, well, there ain't going to be no inflation because you're going to get your universal basic credit. They're going to have a new monetary system where the means of exchange is controlled. There won't be no inflation because the price is going to be set and the money is going to be set. That's why they want programmable money. Now, this particular system,
That's why I took it off the gold standard in the first place, so they can inflate the price of
because they want you to be on the pain. Because if you think, if this system works so great, the old system, then you ain't gonna cry out for the new system. So the new system is purposefully designed with debt that's gonna implode, which is why every government that comes in, what do? Increase the debt, and they find ways to increase the debt, whether it's through war, whether it's through orders and spending. And in the general scheme of things, because what they'll do is we're going to reduce this little tax here, but overall the taxation is increasing. Overall the inflation is increasing. So when you hear Trump coming out talking about we're going to do this, we're going to do that, he's spending money. That money is going to increase the debt. That money he's spending has to be printed, which is going to cause inflation. The tariffs that he's bringing in is going to bring what? Inflation. But that's the goal, and then he's going to blame it on someone else. But hold on, but don't worry, Elon and I, we got the AI, we got a new system that we can bring in.
This is the book of Jeremiah 17.
I'll go incoming, by the way. I'll go coming in tomorrow, Lord will, where we're going to discuss a lot of these things, man.
Jeremiah 17:5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed is the man who trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, whose heart turns away from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
And that's what this system's all about. This system ultimately is about getting you to turn away from the Most High and his righteousness and his word, and to trust in men. And that's what the whole political system is based around, trusting in men. That people trust and believe that these politicians, whether it be left or right, up there to help you, and they know better, and they're going to do this for you and do that for you. And the people trust in it, and they give their energy over to it, which you shouldn't trust none of these men, because these men are Satan. They're there to set traps for you, snares for you, because this is what's happened. Look at the course of history. All they've done is inflation, war, debt, create crisis after crisis, and then in order for you to bring us to this immigration crisis was created by them. Was it not? The sanction, but they'll say, but it was the Democrats. Bro, that's how it works, isn't it? One man takes a shit, the other one cleans it up, innit? And then Trump will take a shit, and then if it be, the other one will come in, oh, he did this and we need to do this.
Because they said it in the last administration when Biden was saying that Kamala was head of the czar, but she purposely open the gates for all the immigrants.
They did that on purpose. And this whole thing about immigration, when you look at it, none of them have been. Obama deported the most people, not Trump. Trump didn't even deport the most people. So the whole thing is a farce. And then you see man on TV saying, oh, this guy, he's from MS-13. They didn't even give a man's name. And the man's like, thank you, Obama. You believe that? You thought that was real?
In the car,
you thought that shit was real? It's all fake. It's all there to see so that these Americans can say, oh yeah, he's doing something. Listen, man, they're going to be grabbing up a couple people, whether they are not. But after a while, they're just going to die that down. Because they need these slaves here anyway.
That's what people say.
They need these slaves there.
Clean up the toilets.
But they have the power now under that auspices to bring in the digital ID. And also to arrest random people. Oh yeah, he's in MS-13.
That was the law that he quoted. I forget I can't check it right now, but there was a law that he quoted at his inauguration, the Alien Something Act. Where that, when you look into that, one of the reasons they don't like it is the fact that basically anyone can just be grabbed up based off of that law.
Yeah. Oh, he's MS-13. He's in the cartel. But how do you know?
Apparently, they grabbed up some Haitian guy. They grabbed up some guy from DR.
Yeah, the Haitian guy was. Oh yeah.
And then they grabbed up some Venezuelans and all that Mexicans. So yeah, they're trying to it's gonna lead into Jacob's trouble though.
Of course,
Esau's gonna use it
because they're gonna use it
The
on
Shake's being targeted.
or whoever they want.
You know?
You know, because like I brought out in the live stream, is that under the Patriot Act they already defined any drug selling gang as a potential terrorist group.
Yeah.
So in the end, they're gonna be able to deal with you like a terrorist group in terms of they can use the military in times of any chaos to take you out, and that's really what it's all about.
That's what it's
Go on.
Deuteronomy 17 and 15, just on the leadership. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord Yahweh thy God shall choose. One from thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
That's right. In fact, you could get the curse. I think is it Deuteronomy 28:46. Thou shalt only be oppressed always. Jake don't get it. Jake in America, man, and even the Jake in the UK, right? They don't seem to understand that. They don't have no allies, man. There's no one out here. Also, get that in Jeremiah, Jeremiah the 30th chapter. You know when it speaks about all thy lovers.
Leave it.
Because Jake don't seem to understand that we never had no allies. Even when it looked like they were doing something for us, they weren't. It was a trick. It was the long game. They'll give you a little something now to put you at ease, but they're setting you up later on down the line. We ain't got no allies in this world, man. The only entity that's on our side is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. The so-called white man, I don't care what they call themselves. They're not on your side. But Jake.
So the only issue being right now, because the Most High is on our side, but we're not on the Most High side as a people. That's why we're catching hell. You know, that's why enemies are, got the upper hand against us, man. So, once we return to the Lord, we've got the greatest power that exists with us, man.
That's it.
Like the elder mentioned, was it Elder Manasseh Zakbar, one of his latest sit downs. He's like, Jake just don't get it. Like all the hell that's getting ready to happen. You can see that America's falling apart. But they're still looking to the so-called white man for solutions. And all they have to do is repent, man. Just repent to the Lord. Like, they won't turn to the Lord. They
want to play good cop, bad cop. And that's basically what it is. The political left-right paradigm, race-based politics is a tantamount to good cop, bad cop. And what's good cop, bad cop? Before they go in there, your ass is sitting there in the interrogation room. They have one goal and one goal only: to get you to talk, to break you. Yeah, so they can get the information they need, so that it's on record. They go to the district attorney. Yo, this is what he said. Boom, 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 boom. Is this enough to persecute his ass and put him in jail? That's what they're good. Now, that's before they get in there. They pick and choose. Okay, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna just stare at him. I'm gonna move hard. You gonna be like nice. You're gonna offer him a cup of tea. You're gonna pretend you're on his side. It's good cop, bad cop. So you're there now, and the good cops, the bad cops, putting full pressure, and then the good cop comes to act like, yo, what you doing? Chill.
Take a break.
And then now you start talking to the good cop because you think he's on your side. And then you start running your mouth. You start getting comfortable. You start talking, then they get the information they need to get the job done, and that goes on both of their records. Yeah, because they're partners. Yeah,
That man got the team game.
Well, that's what the Democrats and the Republicans have been doing. But the only thing is, they've put the Democrats for years as a appearance that they're on the side of minorities, which they never have been. But they have that appearance, and then the Republicans are against. And then now, a lot of you Negroes switch because you thought you caught onto something. Oh yeah, Democrats, they're really the racist ones. We're gonna switch over to the Republicans because they're not racist. Bro, they're both racist, man.
They've been lining them in the same cycle.
Yeah, they're both devils, man. Now what are you doing, man?
You had that video come out there, Snoop Dogg saying, which one of you jigaboo niggas is gonna vote for Trump and all that. 17.
Yeah.
You know,
Now
yes,
it's at the inauguration.
Eyes master. and then he was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because them,
The
and we told you from long
First
time, them
in line.
celebrities are bought from paper.
Yeah.
Celebrities don't have opinions, man. When you're gonna learn that when you get to a certain level of influence here, you are not your own person.
Oh.
Celebrities are not allowed opinions. Their opinion and their character is based upon what their handlers tell them to be. So if the handler tells them to be pro something in the public eye, even if they're against it personally, they have to be pro it.
Yeah, marketing.
So they will tell a man, okay, you're gonna look. What's her name switched over to Trump? Look at the you had what was it? The
Amber.
Amber Rose.
Amber Rose, yeah.
What you think she woke up one day and she was looking through the political spectrum and she was and then she
And why
came
her?
to the epiphany.
Yeah.
No, they said, listen, you are gonna switch. You are gonna switch. You are gonna switch. Same with the Hollywood actors. There's a reason most Hollywood actors are Democrat.
Yeah.
Because they wanted Hollywood to be woke and democratic. If they wanted them to be right wing, they'd all be right wing because they bought and paid for. Wake the hell up, man.
Just like
America's a big illusion, man.
Yeah, it's a illusion. Just like you used to mention Kanye, now he's gone quiet.
Yeah, where's Kanye at?
Now he's a billionaire again. He's gone quiet.
But he's the one. But he's the one that started it.
Yeah.
He's the one that was wearing the MAGA cap. You remember?
Dyed his hair
Starting out
blonde
in
and
the
shit,
White
man.
House. Yeah.
Hey, but the
Rock
whole
side of
America's
his head.
Hollywood.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk was a Democrat for years.
The Hitler guy.
The man's got a transgender youth. Now all of a sudden he's right wing and he cares about the children. Like, what the fuck, man? You can believe this shit? Go on now.
This is Ciroc 12 and 10.
Did
Never.
you get the-
Oh, you want that one first?
yeah, you can get that one. I
Alright.
thought you was getting the one I called for.
Real quick. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
And that's what we're going to touch on today as well. You see, you think that Esau, when Esau first put us into captivity under the system of white supremacy, you, Jake, feel like the system of white supremacy, there was a counter to it. So there's some good Edomite, you know them good ones.
Yeah.
You know them good Edomites, them moral Edomites. You know the ones I'm talking about, the moral ones, brother. You don't know them? Them moral. No, this is horrible. Black people are humans, and them Edomites, yeah, which are all agents, yeah. So you think that there's an element of Edomites that's fighting against white supremacy, and white supremacy is failing, and it's in the past, and there's a little bit of it left. But the good Edomites are taking listen, there always been so-called white supremacists, always been eugenicists. They just put it in the background to put you at ease. But through this new world order, that hardcore white supremacy is going to come back in its full swing.
Not according to Alex Jones.
Because the AI, and that's why the DEI, we're going to get into it. Let's get these scriptures first, and then we're going to, touching it now, actually. Go on.
Even when Trump got inaugurated, you had thousands of white supremacists coming into DC, masked up, like literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them. And again, the media never reported on it, but it's out there.
And guess what? The Democrats are so-called white supremacists too. If you believe in evolution, you're a white supremacist. And this is what I'm saying. It's like they just rebranded white supremacism because it was useful for a time, but it's gonna come back in a big way, and it's already started. And Jake don't realize it.
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away.
Now, you go into the philosophy of white supremacy, it's the belief system that the Edomite man is genetically superior to the so-called black man. Now, you might say to yourself, well, no one believes that anymore, but what the fuck do you think they teach your kids in school? What does evolution mean?
Yeah.
Just actually think about it. Because you dumb Negroes run around, oh yeah, the original man. You don't even know by that calling yourself the original man, you are agreeing with white supremacy.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, but the first people were from Africa. Yeah, what, Lucy? According to the Bible, the first people weren't from Africa. Yeah. The Lord made the first people out of the earth. Now, if you want to go into geographically, the Noah's Ark landed in Ararat, which is in Turkey, which is backed up by recorded history, because the earliest recorded civilizations on earth exist where? Not in, not in Africa. And I mean recorded civilizations. Not Esau found a stone and did some bullshit carbon dating and said, oh, this is a 50 billion years, some bullshit. I'm talking about recorded history. Actually recorded, written, like what we have actual evidence for and not hocus pocus. All the earliest civilizations are to be found in Mesopotamia. Where is Mesopotamia? Let's get Genesis real quick. Let's back it up with the scriptures and get Genesis the 11th chapter. Mesopotamia is over there in the Middle East, what they call the Fertile Crescent. That is the center of man, of civilization, and everything came from there and spread outwards. So people spread from that region into Africa, into Europe, into the rest of well, whatever they call Europe, West Asia, if you want to call it that, and then East Asia. But it started from in the Middle East, what they call it, if you want to call it that. Yeah, the Fertile Crescent, and that's backed up by the scriptures. You got the point?
From the beginning. Well, I mean, Genesis 11 and start from the top.
No, that's fine. That's there. I don't want to go all the way back to that. Just from there is fine.
And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from
Right.
the east.
This is when all Noah's descendants were dwelling together as one. And remember, they came off the boat in Turkey, Ararat. That was the region, not Africa. Mama Africa and all this bullshit. The Middle East area, region. Go on.
And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they
They
found
journeyed from the east. Yeah.
that they found a plain in the land of Shinar.
They found a plane in where?
In the land of Shinar.
So where's Shinar? Shinar is in Iraq, which is Babylon. And this is the first place that man are actually gonna just set up shop and live. Go on.
And dwelt there. As goes on to say, and they said one to another, go to, let us make a brick, and he burned them thoroughly, and they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar.
The slime is talking about tar, which backs up because what's Iraq and them place known for? Oil. Now, in places that are rich in oil, what you end up happening is the pressure that you get the tar builds up. Which, by the way, oil doesn't come from dead dinosaurs. Okay, oil is created in the earth. It's naturally produced in the earth. Yeah? Esau called them fossil fuels to fool everyone. They're not fossil fuels at all.
Trump said it the other day, and he said, drill, and all that. So we gonna drill. So where you gonna drill to get the oil from? Drill the earth, man.
Right. That whole
Just like any other resource on the earth, Esau likes to hoard, right, and limit what's available to people. Right?
oil was meant to run out already. Remember when they were scaremongering about oil? Oil was meant to run out like 30 years ago. Now, oil is naturally produced in the crust of the earth. But they called it fossil fuels, again, to back up this idea of milk dinosaurs millions of years ago, which backs up what? Evolution. It's all part of the system of white supremacy and the lie of Esau Edom to undo the righteousness which is in the scripture. Okay? But again, what happens is in the places that are rich in oil, you can have the oil breaking up to the surface and you get what's known as tar pits. And people used to go to the tar pits to get the bitumen, which is what you use for the roads and that. That's what that slime is. So it backs it up. The geography ain't changed. they had the slime back then.
Just some information on Mesopotamia. You just put it in Google, right? And it'll tell you the ancient Mesopotamia, the land of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, now lies mostly in modern Iraq and northeastern Syria, together with southeastern Turkey and western Iran. More than five.
The Tigris and the Euphrates,
Yep.
which is one of the two of the four rivers around the garden that was planted in the east, which is Israel.
Yep.
Yeah. So
That's why it's so fertile, man. These great rivers running through.
So it lines up with the scriptures, man.
More than 5,000 years ago, the world's first literate and urban society arose in this region.
Right, 5,000 years
history.
recorded history. Because there's no such thing as prehistory. Prehistory was made up by Esau Edom to justify evolution.
Theoretical bullshit.
That's why you get a goofy man talking about Egypt 50,000 years. There wasn't no Egypt 50,000 years ago, you goofy. That's made up, man. That's not recorded in history. They didn't get that number from records. They got that number from carbon dating.
Because man was so like uninvolved, they couldn't read or write. Didn't write any documents. They couldn't speak. And
yeah,
it's stupid.
They're
man.
talking about China like 200,000 years ago. Are you insane? China. Yeah, no, that's all lies that Esau set up. Recorded history is true history, and it goes in line with the Bible. So it's about 6,000. What is it? 6,000 years of history according to the Bible.
That man have always been able to write and read and speak, But Esau he pushes the idea of evolving. Because the fact that he come from apes, and they couldn't write or nothing.
Well, that goes into get the book of Genesis. Which chapter is it? It goes into Cain, the artificer. Yeah, because Esau would tell you about there was an Iron Age, there was a Bronze Age. That's a lie. You know how we know that's a lie with metallurgy back during the time of Cain, and that was 5,000 years ago, give or take. So, and they were mixing metals. So that shows you that this idea of there was a Stone Age. Which bomber clock Stone Age you are trying to do this
industrial type of thing in the ancient
Yeah.
world. Age,
there weren't no Stone Age.
Industrial age, Bronze Age, Silver, like all this.
Now there might have been an age where certain things was more prevalent,
like regional.
But that doesn't mean that. So, for instance, here you can have a situation where a people over Deso have got a certain technology that the man them over here ain't got.
Resources, different regions have different types of resources.
But that doesn't mean them man are in a different, because they're in the same age, but them man are just doing their thing. So you might have had a time where these men over here are using iron, but most of these men over here are not using iron. But them man had iron. You know what I'm saying? So Esau set up that whole thing so that he can, one, make it look like man is increasing in knowledge all the time, when that's not the truth. There's technologies that man had back then that Esau can't tap into now. And two, to back up his idea of Neanderthals and all this stuff, which there's no such thing as a Neanderthal. They've never found one and it doesn't exist. This is all lies. But they teach it to your kids in the cartoons and the schools because they don't want your children to believe in the Bible. They want you to believe. Which inevitably means you believe in the system of so-called white supremacy.
This is the book of Genesis, the 4th chapter, the 22nd verse. She also bare Tubal Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron.
Brass and iron. Now, if you go into Esau and the Iron Age, this shouldn't exist at this time now. But that shows you that whole Iron Age and Bronze Age stuff is BS, man. All right, because man, we're dealing with bronze and iron from a long time, and that's in the book of Sirach as well. You got something?
1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust. Avoid profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called.
Right, Esau. Not everything that Esau says is true, because he's a liar. That don't mean that everything Esau says is a lie, though. And this is where people get confused. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that everything Esau says is a lie, but that also don't mean that everything Esau says is the truth. So you got to decipher between each other, but people want it either all one way or all the other way, and it don't work like that.
As I was reading earlier, never trust thy enemy. Right? It's not that Esau, it's like I say, he lies 100% of the time, but everything he says has to be scrutinized very carefully. Like bro was saying, how he says things. He didn't say he's gonna ban any people. He said he's gonna reduce. There's all these different things that Esau does to deceive you, man. Methods of deception that he uses, and you really have to scrutinize everything that he says and does, man. He's not a man that you can go by his word.
Unlike what we're gonna, see in our kingdom, everything we say is gonna be truth, man. So you ain't gonna have to muck about.
Yeah, that was the main point in that.
Yeah. Right. So Mesopotamia. So that's where you start going into when you go into them early civilizations that was set up. A lot of those civilizations was built around cities, man. That's where you go back and you read about city states. What's some famous city states in the scriptures?
Chaldees.
The Chaldea was actually a region.
Okay.
So you go into the Chaldees, right? the Chaldees was a region in Mesopotamia that had all these city-states underneath that banner. So Babylon, which is a city-state.
Okay.
Babylon is a city-state. What's another city-state that's famous that you brothers all know?
Jerusalem became a city state under the.
No.
No, in that area.
In that area, which originally, Jerusalem was a city-state.
Yeah.
But what's another one we all know? A group of them that got blazed with fire.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Sodom,
Gomorrah.
exactly. They weren't nations, they were city-states. Sodom was a city-state. That's why it says Sodom and the three cities. And sometimes what would happen is these cities would group together and have alliances. Okay, so what's another famous city-state? You got That's why they call it of the Chaldees. Because Chaldees is a region.
Yeah, I looked it up actually. You got Qumran, or Rock,
Sumer,
Sumer,
Akkad.
Yeah.
And then when you go into the history, at different times, a city would get dominance over the other cities. So you would have the Sumerian Empire, where they had dominance in that region. Then you had the Akkadian Empire. Well, the most famous one of all would be the Babylonian Empire, where they were ruling. Okay, what's another city-state? You brothers know. Come on, you brothers know them.
Nineveh?
No. Rome.
Yeah,
Rome is a city-state.
And you had like what happened and
Tyre.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all going back into history. Do you know what I'm saying? So all that time period, and they even show you even down to religion, they can trace back. Okay, the Egyptians kind of got from the Sumerians, because the first established cities and that were really in that region, and then the other nations moved out and established buildings in other places. But the first root of the civilization was really Babylon in that region. So where's the African city? There wasn't at that time. We just read it. So that's why you got to stick to what the scriptures say and not just run off on Esau's BS, because Esau will have you spinning your tail and you end up in Mars somewhere talking about red rocks. What does the scripture say? And what does the history record? And you'll find that it's really the truth. But then Esau would tell you some other bullshit. Yeah, 80,000 years ago, we found a toe in Africa.
Yeah, but this rock tells me.
Fuck out of here, man. Listen, man, go smoke a rock. That's what you need to do.
A true scholar will tell you that some of these Edomite scholars, they'll say, yeah, history goes back 5,000 years.
Yeah.
I've heard them say that on TV interviews and that.
100%.
History Man TV goes back 5,000 years.
Right.
So they know history.
So if we know that then the original man didn't come from Africa. We came off a boat.
Exactly.
And you had Noah and his 3 sons, and because it's going to say they scattered the earth into the different regions. But from where? From that Fertile Crescent.
Well, they're doing that because they don't want to basically authenticate that the flood happened.
Exactly.
They don't want to. If they say all that, then they have to justify the fact that everything in the Bible is true.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do that. They don't want to justify that. Just like in the Apocrypha, they took the books out of the Apocrypha because it names names, it gives history.
They don't want to give it place.
Factual history of what people actually lived before their time. Alexander, Antiochus, all these people, man. So Esau has to try and hide it.
Well, he's got people in the earth saying, "Oh, this book's old." You know what I mean? And like you don't know who wrote it. We don't know who wrote it. But you want to trust Esau's theoretical science. There's no evidence of nobody saying anything about these things. Yeah, they're just based on scientific bullshit that he made up. But you'd rather believe that in a textbook because it came out in 1991 or whatever.
And Esau changed names too. So I'll give you an example. Like a dragon is not a mythical creature. It's a real animal.
Yeah.
It's a real animal.
Is it?
Now, I'm glad you said that, right? What Esau did was they redefined the name dragon to dinosaur. What is it? Look up the etymology of the name of dinosaur. And it's how Esau pulled the bait and switch. Because now you're like,
they're two different things.
You're like, oh, well, the dinosaurs were 3 billion years ago. So how come man are writing stories about them?
Yeah.
Or see, that's why they couldn't keep the same name. Because if you're gonna tell me that dragons existed, but they existed blood clot, like so far in the past, like they should have been to dust by now. Yeah, it's unthinkable. Yeah. Then who Who saw them to be drawing them
Yeah.
and to be describing them as dragons? What man's ancestor monkey? Did man pass on what's going on? No, so they had to, we need to just go away from the dragon thing, change the name to dinosaur and just focus on that. But if you understand that a dinosaur and a dragon is the same thing, and we know that there's evidence of dinosaurs, which means there's evidence of dragons, then we know that dragons existed during the time people exist, because people described them and spoke about them. Because you can't talk about a dog, but you never seen a dog. And then man dig up a dog and say the dog exists 2 million times before we got the technology now. We dig it. So this thing called a dog exists 2 million years ago. Yeah, but how did Johnny write about it 100 years ago?
Yeah.
How did Johnny know about it? Johnny wrote a book about it. Johnny had stories about it. How did that happen? You got the meaning of dinosaur?
Yeah. So it says it goes mid-century, mid-19th century, from modern Latin term
Oh, get
dinosaurus.
Behemoth. Get the description of Behemoth. Yeah, sorry.
From the Greek, Danos, terrible lizard.
Terrible lizard, right? Which is a dragon. But they just Esau is very deceptive. He's like, we need to change the name so that we could disassociate from all these stories that exist in recorded history.
What would even be the need to have a word for such a thing?
Yeah.
If it didn't exist at that time, there would be no need to have a word for it.
Yeah.
Because if it's not in your part of your culture or whatever, there would be no need to develop a word for it. You know, so it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. So people talking about people slaying dragons.
Yeah,
They were killing dragons.
George
Like,
Dragon Slayer.
yeah, they was actually killing dragons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But Esau knows. That's why he put it in that.
But then that messes up his whole thing.
Yeah.
Because his whole thing was the dinosaurs were before
Prehistoric,
man.
yeah.
They were prehistoric.
And a meteorite made them extinct.
Yeah. That's
Oh.
it. You know, the Big Bang Theory.
Ice Age. No, the Ice Age.
Ice Age,
or-
right.
that's what. Yeah,
Which
we
is more bullshit. More bullshit. They just make up as they go along.
And also, so a lot of people don't understand how quote science works, right? They think it's empirical. They think that they don't understand if you speak against the status quo, right, you basically get ostracized.
Yeah, because there's Freemasons.
take control.
They took over the beginning in Britain, the Royal Society, which is the main scientific community. And these Masons were witches and warlocks. So then they started co-opting science to push their philosophies and to push white supremacy, which is where you get evolution and social evolution, social Darwinism, which they all believe in. This is why you have Planned Parenthood. This is why in the UK you got the Marie Stopes.
And as a scientist, you can't not believe that because you won't get no play. You get cast out as a lunatic or whatever, because they do it all the time. They cast them out as crazy.
The example given is during the CV. Every doctor that came out was like, "Yo, this is some BS." Got pushed to the side.
Yep.
It's the book of Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value.
Yeah, that's what Esau does.
Again, the science force is so called, man, because they're manipulating what the science is supposed to be, right? And if because science is supposed to be the truth, it's supposed to be knowledge, right? But if they're determining what that truth is, then you're gonna be led astray if they bring about lies.
Yeah, and you know when you go into the research, they lied so much, man. Like falsifying evidences, falsifying a lot especially when it comes to evolution, man. Sticking feathers on fossils and all sorts, man. These men are just devils, man.
The other day they just said, they discovered a new mummy in a tomb somewhere in Egypt. Like they just be like making shit up. They probably just folded some old shit.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Maybe they needed some funding for something, and they just found some bullshit. They do that too. They falsify translations too and documents. They do that. Oh man, we're running out of funding, so man, we have to find time. You know what I'm saying? They do that, man. These devils, and then what it is that what reinforces the false science is the media. Jurassic Park and all these movies and these films, and they reinforce this idea of millions of years ago and So as a child growing up, if this is in all the media that you watch, it just becomes truth because it's just repeated.
And it's funny because everything they talk about is always so far far ago in the past, like the Big Bang. All their theories is based on something that's so long ago.
Yeah, it never
So
happens again.
all these things, that means this just can't be true if it's all these things that they're coming up with. It all happened
Well,
so far.
the Christians can't be true
time, you know?
because it's not science. And this is where this is the witchcraft of it.
And then
Trust the
also,
science.
he can then hide his identity,
Yeah,
right? Because
exactly.
when we read Job, the 30th chapter, it speaks about, you know, among the bushes he brave, right? And then so he basically wants to make people think, no, that was cavemen like millions of years ago.
Yeah,
Nah,
that's,
nigga, that
but
was
that's one of the reasons why they're pushing this JOO thing so hard in the media openly too, because in the end they're gonna get rid of all that. This idea that there's a chosen people, like that's all come from the Bible. We're just gonna end all that because look at all the problems it's caused. Esau's a slick devil, you know. Why do you think the Rothschilds don't really talk about being Jews that much? They don't.
They're just powerful.
They know they're there, but they don't really try to. They try to stay in the background and all that stuff, man.
But they'll go according to what you read in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. Might is right. Whereas the most powerful gets to rule. They ain't gonna care about all identities and all like that.
Yeah, get the one in Job, and then what was we holding after? Yeah, we'll finish up on the prehistory and all that, going into the evolution thing.
It's the book of Job 14, 14 and 15. Behold now, behemoth, which I made with thee. He
With
eateth
thee. Got all the animals and that was all. Listen, the Lord made. There ain't no nothing that was made millions of years ago and all that crap, man. And all the animals that's on earth today is a descendant of an animal that the Lord created. It might have a variation, just like we're a variation of the people that are originally created. That doesn't mean man are not of that descendancy.
Yeah.
Like
everything after its own kind. That's what you say, right?
yeah, after its own kind. So you got the original canines,
For no chimp.
and then you get, because there's a lot of species of dogs that exist now that 500 years ago they didn't exist. But that's still a fucking dog, man. It just shows you that the genetic code is split, and now you have a variation that came out of the original genome. But it's not new, and they know that it's not a mutation. It's not new. It was already within the original animal to have that variety.
I got something. There's a quick one around.
Yeah.
On every creature. This is Genesis 1:21. And the powers created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And the powers saw that it was good.
Now Esau. I tell you how evolution does not make no sense, right? Because one thing has to lead to another, and the way the Lord created the systems of the way things operate is it had to be created in its entirety in order to work. It could not be done piecemeal. You can't develop into a human bit by bit, otherwise it's either you are or you're not. It has to work or it don't work. It can't be 10% and still functional. It has to be 100% in order to be functional. So they say, oh well, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, it's very simple. The chicken came first with an egg inside. Job done, right? Because it said that when the Lord created the flowers with the seed inside. So then the seed can come out of the flower and then create more flowers. The Lord didn't create seeds and he didn't create a flower. He created a flower with the seed inside. He created people with sperm and eggs. He created a chicken with the egg inside to continue on. So he created a fully functional being.
Yeah, because it even says like he created like man and then said go be fruitful and multiply the earth.
What came first, chicken or the egg? That's a stupid question. The only reason is that question exists because of evolution. Because it's true. If a chicken needs to come from an egg, then which evolved first? The egg production system, because even the egg production system has to evolve. Think of it, because in the DNA, right, it has to be written in the DNA to build the production, because you build the reproductive system. So how did you have a reproductive system before you have something to reproduce from? It's a what's it called? A paradox, man. No, it had to all be made in its full functionality, complete. But we got the man with the highest IQ trying to push this.
No. It's the book of 1 Corinthians 15, 8. But Most High giveth but giveth it a body as it has pleased him, and to every seed his own body. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts.
Yeah, but humans is 99.6% the same as a chimpanzee.
Don't mean shit.
You moron.
That's a lie.
Maybe because it was created by the same being, so some of the things might be similar. But that 8% or whatever percentage it is makes it different, you dummy. That's why when you do a DNA test, yeah, it ain't gonna come up with a chimp, is it, you dickhead? It's gonna come up with a human, bro. You morons, man. You listen to Esau, are they similarities? There's similarities. Well, chimps have hearts. We got hearts. Ooh, it's the same. Well, maybe you had the same designer. Maybe the person who created a chimp, the same person that created a human.
But he's so ridiculous because I think even like they say we got like a genetic makeup similar to like a banana, some fucking stupid shit. Like it's some ridiculous shit. What is that supposed to mean?
What does that mean?
What are we supposed to do with that information?
How functionally is how is it manifested? So am I gonna start sprouting? Come on,
Yeah, man.
behave yourself, man.
You know, a man is never gonna become a cat. He ain't never gonna become a dog. It ain't never gonna happen.
Even on them Edomites tried.
You could wait 100,000 billion years and it still would never fucking happen.
No, chimpanzee,
You know?
chimpanzee.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
the
saying,
chimp's
right?
still
They
there,
will talk about something over a long amount of time, but they could never observe such a thing.
And
And
it's
so,
never
so,
been
so
observed.
it's open to speculation if it's true or not because you can't observe it, right? And that's what they play on. The fact that this unknown is that, but they say it can happen. We just can't see it. We will never see it because it's so long.
Well, monkeys are
Bullshit.
monkey, man.
They got you on for a fucking ride, man.
But in the same breath, they'll talk about adaptation, but say that's different. So, but wait, there, that animal, this is madness.
Well, monkeys are monkey, man.
Yeah,
The science is so flawed and complicated, man. It don't make no fucking sense.
You don't see the man there eat that. That's all
They ain't no hybrids.
smart smellers, man. They ain't no smart fellas. Oh, no. That's what my uncle. That's what my. Remember Dove? That's what Uncle Dove would say, man. You think you're a smart fella, but if a fart smeller. Yeah. Well, actually, that's quite accurate. When you
Ironic.
ironically, isn't it?
Another of fishes, and another of birds.
Yeah, the birds, and even down to the way they're designed. Like for instance, birds have hollow bones. Birds are absolutely designed to do what they do, and they're completely different. Even down to how they pass, they excrete waste. They poo and pee together. They're one of the only animals that do that. Like, we pee and we poo. They have a system where they squirt out. That's where you get the bird droppings and it's all in one. They're specifically designed to do what they do. And yeah, certain things are made of the same. It's just like with us, your hair and your nails are made of the same things, but they come out different, right? So that's the same thing with the animals. But a fish is completely designed different to a bird. Hence why birds don't live like fish. And a fish is different to a beast, to a cow. Are there similarity proteins? Yeah, obviously. They fucking live on the same planet, man.
The fact that they have bones.
Yeah, like octopus don't even have no bones. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no. Esau's an asshole, man.
Can we go back to
Yeah. Go back to the bear moth. That's another animal that's in the scriptures, what they would consider to be a dinosaur. But it's recorded in the scriptures. So how did man record the descriptions?
Yeah, didn't see it.
It's the book of Job, 4:15 again. Behold now, Behemoth, which I made with thee, he eateth grass as an ox. Lo, now his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar.
This is an animal that's got big ass belly, a big ass tail, super strong, and eats grass. It's a herbivore. Remember the Jurassic Park? He's a herbivore. Yeah, whether it's Stegosaurus or whatever the hell they Esau call it, man. That's what we're reading about, and it's in the scriptures. Now you might say, well, where are they today? I don't know. I'm not searched the whole fucking planet. Have you? They could be in the middle of the ambush. They have
And
the Congo jungle, the Amazon jungle.
such
People
things.
have said they've seen such things.
Yeah.
In fact, that's another cut. Did you know that they find images of dinosaurs painted by the indigenous peoples
On the walls,
of
yeah.
the Americas?
Yeah.
What did they watch Jurassic Park? Man?
But you saw put that in the movies though, like in Godzilla and all that, or you'll put it in Jurassic Park. We show you like going to some ancient ruins and they got drawings of dinosaurs walking with man and all that because they know that history is true, man. But they just like to, mix and match shit, man.
That's right.
And even that name Godzilla means King Lizard, man. So they know that the lizards is talking about the dragons and dinosaurs. They're the same fucking thing, man. The Leviathan. Well,
Yeah, that's where you get the sea monsters, man.
yeah.
Well, I was gonna mention about Leviathan. I was gonna read it, but you just mentioned it. Oh, we was talking about the dragon thing. The knights always fighting dragons that spit fire and shit. Leviathan spits fire.
Spits fire, man.
You know, and you think that's an incomprehensible thing. What does that? But these things can do that. But that's where these tales come from. Where do they come from otherwise? Why didn't the dragons spit water?
They were watching TV. That's where it comes
Why don't you just vomit on people? I don't understand. Like, why is it fire?
Specific, yeah.
Yeah, it's because these things are in the scriptures, and there's certain lizards that did that. You know.
Why does it come past regions? Like, because that's the on the Wales flag.
Yeah.
You got a dinosaur, but then in China you got dinosaurs. So it's like I always saw
Well,
that.
they said about the dragon.
from. They watch Jurassic Park. Or they watch, they watch Ring of Fire, Rain of Fire, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, there must be a reason for it. It's in the scriptures, isn't it? But Esau will say, "Oh well, but we can't find it." Well, there's a lot of things you can't find. You can't find the truth either because you're the devil. But it's there.
Yep.
This is okay. So, this is
Hey, the Amazon forest is thick.
Yeah, man. It's
Big ass place.
The forests in the world in general. Africa, the jungles in Africa, man. Man, listen. Because Esau give you that stupid map. You think the earth is a small place.
Yeah,
The earth ain't small, man.
yeah.
You don't know what's going on out there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, them regions are mountainous as well, man. But like a lot of people are finding that like they're walking on ancient civilizations and shit, man. What you think is just the hill or a mountain where it's actually fucking on top of fucking
There's
civilization.
there's things out there, even the ocean.
Yeah.
Man think just because you got bare boats now and there come submarines, they've searched out the whole ocean and know whatever was. Nah, man. You know how big the ocean is, man? You don't know what's really going on underneath
You
there.
know, you think like these games like Assassin's Creed, you go fill up the map, innit?
Yeah.
It's gonna check the whole map.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't done that.
But because of the TV and technology, people underestimate how vast the size of the earth we live on really is and how much of it is unexplored.
Yeah,
Like deep into the Congo jungle and that, man. Man have tried to explore it and died. They don't even come back. Man don't know where they are.
There was an article of a Rothschild. There's an article of a Rothschild. He went out. It was not the Congo. He went to some Panamanian. No, not Panamanian. He went to basically where Jacob lived. One of those islands there. And he never came back. Bro. They ate him, bro, or some shit. He went out there for some exploits, to exploit them. And he never came back, man.
Okay,
Last footage of him just being in the circle and them smiling at him, like, looking like basically something to eat.
Right. Yeah.
Well, what he deserved.
I was gonna say we were speaking about Canada a few weeks ago, about how really Canada is just that little strip above America. In Australia, it's the same thing. But like the size of that little country continent, most people live. Base that middle bit is mostly uninhabited.
Yeah,
Man ain't searched that whole thing out.
No,
This is Job the 41st chapter from the top. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord, which thou lettest down? Can thou put a hook?
So again, same with the sea stories of these monsters in the sea and that. Like all these these ships come into contact with something, that they describe, as monstrous, right? Well, the scripture speaks about these things, right? Everyone, they'll get shipwrecked or die or something, so they don't make like a proper account of it because most men don't come back. But they've heard and witnessed these things, man. All these destructions and stuff that happen out there in the oceans and shit.
Yeah, like people think that the story of Jonah is a mythical story, like that never happened, like an actual big you know, sea monster swallowed him up for 3 days. He was in the belly of a
Bro,
beast.
the ocean is scary.
And then vomited him out to the back into Nineveh, man, to prophesy. That
You know-
actually happened.
You know, the tallest mountains are in the ocean.
Yeah,
And
land,
they're
pure
way
land.
more taller than
Pure
the
land.
Everest, man.
The chasms, the canyons.
Pure land.
Most of the earth is under the water.
Hey, but this is it. The flood happened.
Exactly.
You know, and we don't know how much water receded and how much stayed.
You don't know what's
You know?
down there, man.
That's why they always come up with these Atlantis and all that underworld
Yeah,
sea,
yeah.
because they know that the
'Cause
world's
even when
covered
they're
in water.
traveling in them submarines, you gotta understand that they're like a small little speck in the ocean when they're traveling in the ocean, man. That's why you think when motherfuckers get shipwrecked out there and they're floating in the ocean, yeah, bro, the chances, you better hope,
Take
yeah,
you
that
years
the current takes you near
Somewhere.
where people are, that they find you. Because if you're just drifting in the ocean,
Drifting
bro,
all
you
over.
fucked in. The chances of them finding your little tiny ass on that fucking massive ocean, bro. Bro, you better hope an angel, you know what I mean? A chariot
That's the only way.
or something, man.
Yeah.
Because even them shipping lanes, it's specific
Yeah.
shipping lanes. It's not like you go in the ocean like you're
You go
you're
everywhere.
driving down the motorway and it's just like, nah, man. There's huge, vast areas of
They don't
the
travel
ocean. Ain't no ship coming where you are, bro.
You
Ain't no
Currents
plane.
are mad as well, man. Ocean currents.
But again, people underestimate. Maybe they gotta get lost out there to find out. They underestimate the size of the earth that the Lord created. Man.
That shit's scary.
It's spooky. I get spooked by the ocean, man. When I think about it, I don't want to swim out there.
It's definitely not man's portion. No, definitely not man's portion.
Spooky.
That's in Second Ezra 6. You know, the Lord separated a part for man and then a part for Leviathan.
Yeah, it's spooky out there.
Yeah, the Leviathan ruled the waters, isn't it? You know, Enoch is supposed to represent man. Is here for the earth.
Even local to America, that portion of sea, the Bermuda Triangle that they go into, like where they're saying that since the 1918 they've lost about 20 planes and 50 ships, and it's literally between America, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda.
That little bit.
That little island, that little, yeah, man.
So interference going on around there.
He knows what's going on.
It says back in Job 41:2, can thou put a hook into his nose or bore his jaw through with a thorn?
So not your everyday fish.
Big fish.
That's even that Bermuda Triangle. That's what they said.
If he's a
They
fish.
find all them kind of wild animals and mad, prehistoric type of animals. Like the Leviathans and all that around that Bermuda Triangle area. Saying that's where he usually could dwell.
Yeah, you're gonna find out Esau hasn't got a lot of answers, man.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah, they're
You don't
gonna
have
come up with a lot of
answers.
conspiracy
Yeah,
theories.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Fucking
It's alright for
know
them
what's
to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know
it's
what the
alright for them to
fuck's
do it.
happening over there, you know.
Is the type of conjecture.
Yeah.
But we know that Leviathan exists, man. I mean, he gonna play with them ships, man.
Jeremiah 31 and 37. That says the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundation of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, said the Lord.
So they ain't searched out this whole thing, man. You think they've searched out the whole Amazon forest? And come on, man, behave yourself, man. You think too much of Esau. You know what I'm saying? They ain't done it, man. So you can't tell me what exists and what don't exist in the earth unless you searched it out everywhere. You can't tell me that. Not when I know. Anyway, so the point is that you got, you had all, this idea that people come from billion and all that stuff leading into evolution, right? Evolution is what does evolution say? Evolution says that human beings evolved from a lesser being, right? And they are evolving. Everything is still evolving, right? So when they tell you that the so-called white man came from the black man, what are you saying?
Yeah.
What are you saying? You're saying that the most evolved form of human being is the so-called white man. That is the system of white supremacy. That's scientific racism. And it's right there, and they teach it to your children every fucking day, like they go into school. Yeah, evolution. And then, so white people came out of Africa and went into Europe. Yeah, so what they're saying is You niggas, you was there. You base animals that
Monkey.
run and jump,
That's
yeah,
why they call
and
niggas
then we evolved from you,
Yeah.
and now we're the higher form.
So the idea of Esau's race hasn't really changed, man. Because he was saying he was what 2/5 of a person back then. You know,
Right.
why he had this slavery, right? And so if he still classifies himself as the evolved version of us or whatever, he's still saying he's better than you.
And the key is, it's still science.
Still science.
It's science. So the AIs, that's a science
support
for
that.
them. This is where it's gonna get spooky, because now you got this thing. What Esau did was they brought in all these affirmative actions. So, affirmative action. You know, Jake had to fight tooth and hell to do anything and prove he could do anything, right?
Yep.
So they brought in these affirmative actions where you have to hire a certain amount of black people or let a certain amount of black people into university. But then it became, yo,
It's
you're
just
only here because of that. You're really not good enough. That was the sentiment. The sentiment is the reason you're being hired, or the reason is not by merit. And remember, he said America's gonna go back to a nation where you get by merit. So what he's trying to say, using this DEI, which DEI was a lot of bullshit too. They would do it on purpose. They were doing a lot of BS, putting fat lesbians as, fire chiefs.
Yeah.
But it's gonna fall on all Jake, because as far as they're concerned, all Jake is a DEI. Anytime they see a Jake in a position now,
Right.
it's like, oh, you're only in that position because you're black.
Yeah.
There was white men,
Better
white
than you.
males that were better than you that applied for that job,
Because of it,
but because of affirmative action in the DEI, they hired you to meet a quota.
The witchcraft is strong.
You see what they're doing?
Mhm.
This is what they're doing, like.
Precept.
Yeah.
Quick one. This is First Timothy chapter 6 and verse 20. O Timothy,
Yo, look up the bell curve on IQ. Yeah, go on.
O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called.
So one of the scientific beliefs of Esau is IQ based upon genetics or based upon race. So according to scientific racism, the so-called white man has a higher IQ than any other race of people by genetics. I think the so-called Jew is the highest on the yeah. No, serious. You, according to science, which remember the AIs are operating based upon this information. According to science, you Negroes are low IQ naturally. You're naturally genetically, you're naturally low in IQ, and that goes back into the bell curve of IQ. And Jordan Peterson talks about it. He goes on Joe Rogan, and they talk about it. And it's like, it's a harsh truth. It's a harsh truth that because we're woke, nobody wants to deal with the fact that white people are just high IQ, and that's why we've created the civilizations that we've created, and they didn't. So if that is science, and now they want to move to a scientific community where the AI governance and these AIs are going to be governing based upon that science, then based upon all that, where are you, Jake, going to be if the AIs are going to be allocating you jobs and allocating what you can and can't do, or whether you even deserve to be alive? You're already at the bottom of the pole based upon the science, because you're low IQ. You're a lesser form,
Which is determined by Esau what IQ actually is.
which is false IQ tests and all that shit.
Because Esau he's just the greatest devil. So he's going to score high on the charts, isn't it? Right?
So
He's
so
the
put
devil.
that together. They're repealing DEI. They already have a scientific basis to discriminate against Jake, and the AI is going to govern based upon that science. They're putting you, Jake, back in slavery, man. White supremacy is coming back hard. How can you not see it? But you see, this is the snare that's being set, and the average Jake can't see it because they don't believe that. They believe that racism still exists, but they don't understand it because it's hidden by all the other bullshit.
They just think, oh, it's because I'm black.
That woke shit was done on purpose to justify what they're about to do. Okay, we tried the wokeism. We tried integrating these monkeys, but they're just animals and they're low level, and the science proves it. So
We're going to go by the science.
we're just gonna go by the science from now, and that makes it fair.
Trust the science.
Trust
right?
the science.
Can I grab this quickly?
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, have made no account of his labors.
Shit, yeah.
They don't want to rate us for anything, man. And that's the truth, man. That's why they say you want to put us back down at the bottom. You know, when we down at the bottom anyway. But you know, further into the bottom, you know,
Yeah.
they don't want to give you no opportunities no more because you don't deserve them. They make no account of what we do.
Well, that's why they're getting rid of their jobs now. Like everything's going autonomous.
Yeah.
They're gonna take robots are gonna basically take over
And the
fucking
AIs are
job.
gonna be the
managers,
AIs are gonna be allocating roles. Because that's where it's gonna go to. AI governance. Now when you hand in your CV to be allocated a job, just like they show you in the Futurama,
Yeah.
and you're allocated a job. They say, oh, this guy's obsolete, he's useless. We're gonna get rid of this guy. It's gonna be you Jakes, the majority of you. Because according to the science, the majority of you Jakes are low IQ and prone to violence. Hey, don't listen, I never said that. I never said that. This is just the science that they believe. They teach it to your children in school without you knowing that's what they're teaching them. But if your child believes in evolution, if your school is teaching evolution, they are teaching white supremacy by default. They're teaching eugenics and social Darwinism by default. It's there. It's already there. They've just kind of like, we need to soften it up. You know what I mean? We need to soften it up with political correctness. But they're about to get rid of political correctness, man. Now, let me read this real quick. Yeah, this is from a book that I had. And this perfectly described the time when Esau just came straight with it. It says, the Negro is a fellow of many natural defects and deformities. So you have to remember that before political correctness, when they try and make it, oh, everyone's equal and this is what was just the norm. This is what was just casually known. Oh, nigga can't fly a plane. They stupid. He deformed. They're animal. They're barely human.
That's why when the Constitution was written, you wasn't involved in that, man.
Exactly.
He was 3/5 of a man.
Yeah. And they're gonna bring it back to that. It says, ran a typical passage in the joke or whatever. A question for a continent, a popular literally assault on blacks written by Hinton R. Helper and published in 1867. Not only is he cursed with a black complexion, right? So according to them, having a dark skin complexion was a curse.
It's that Mormons bullshit.
Which is a lie. Okay, having a black complexion is neither blessing or curse. It's just normal. It's necessary for Earth. It's like having 2 hands and 2 eyes. That's operational. All the animals and the plants and everything, it's a standard. So you need to be protected from the UV rays. Yeah. An apish aspect. So he said we look like apes, which was backing up his idea that we're closer to animals, which we don't look like no apes. Well, some niggas do, but some crackers look like apes too. Some people look like animals, man.
They're a bunch of hypocrites because they're saying about color, but it's their color that makes them look inferior because they lack color. They ain't got no melanin. No, and they're the ones that look like actual apes.
But the chimps are white. They got black hair. You know what I'm saying? And then they got Prince Charles ears and shit.
They're leprous.
They got yeah.
He's using Jay, but look at Gareth Bell, man.
Oh, Martin Keough. So we could point to a lot of people that look apish, man. Come on, man.
It's crazy.
Some people look like dogs. Some people look like cat. What does that mean? Anyway, a woolly dog, fierce, smart people. Anyway, a woolly head.
Woolly head.
So that's a curse too. That's a curse too.
So but Yahweh Shai has a woolly head. Yeah. He is also rendered odious by an intolerable stench.
That's them. You see what I'm saying? He's talking about himself, but he's trying to equate it to Jay.
A thick skull, because what they used to do, there was a form of, they measure the thick. They showed you in
Django.
That was a real thing.
We gonna measure the 3 dimples in the middle skull.
So what's that meant to mean? Like we've got thicker skulls, so we've got less brain capacity because we can't. The brain is like taken up by skull. But how's about a bigger skull? Yeah, exactly. 10 times the density. Like Wolverine's adamantium in him or some shit. They're brittle or something.
Oh yeah, bro. They're always in the sheep. I see them.
A thick skull and a booby brain. Again, the main thing they knew they couldn't say we were physically inferior, and that's why they have no problem giving Jake 2 things: sexuality and physicality. They have no problem, even though they tried to hold back on the heavyweight championship. They got no problem with that. What they struggle to allow you, Jake, to have is intellectual supremacy because they holding on to that for themselves. because that's what they're saying makes them superior. Their intelligence. They're more intelligent than you, Jake, just from being born. White supremacy.
That's how they're able to build these civilizations, because they're smarter. You know,
But even
I mean, they're so intelligent that they think they can fight God. That's extreme intelligence, right? You got to be a high IQ individual to think you can fight God, innit? I mean, doesn't that sound like something that someone with a high IQ would do?
Change your agenda.
Well, these guys are idiots.
they're progressive though. Huh? They're progressive.
Okay, yeah,
That's part of the evolution.
only a fool would want to fight God, man. They don't understand that. You have to be on the lowest. That's the lowest IQ thing you could do. You think of the thing you should never do. If you think about it, no, just think. You just run the calculations in your brain and say, should I fight God? And then anyone with any form of brain cells rub together would be like, nah, that's a fool's error.
Hey, but that's a common theme in their movies, because they're just they're crazy.
So for me, that's proof that Esau don't have the highest IQ, because this guy actually trying to think he got a chance to fight the most high.
Man,
It's insane.
they said they are man. They're not God. You're not on the level to box with
Low
God.
IQ. Yeah, go on.
It's Isaiah 32:5 says, the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. And the word churl means like someone that's a scoundrel, whatever, man, like a waste man, basically, in modern day terms. It says, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. So this is talking about the instruments of the church, talking about the so-called white man. And he's the ultimate villain, man.
Yeah.
Everything the brother just read on that article, man, in that book, is talking about him, but he's purposely trying to flip it on Jake.
us. And that's why Jake has a low self-esteem.
Yeah.
This is why Jake
Depression, all that
doesn't
shit.
value education. They don't value knowledge. The things that they value is what? Entertainment and something to do with physicality. But that's not, we didn't get like that, because brother would tell you, the man them that's from Nigeria, there's certain Jake in Nigeria that all they care about is education. That's why they're known for actually getting the highest education. Because them man ain't trying to, you try to tell man about bouncing ball, they ain't trying to, their parents ain't trying to hear that. I wanna do music, or I wanna bounce ball.
You gotta be a lawyer.
I said, nah,
Since
but
I brought you to this England to play basketball.
They look at that like you're ruining the family legacy.
yeah, but why? Because their mentality is more attached to the way they always have been, because they haven't been put into hardcore slavery under Esau and have Esau pumping this shit into their brain for the last 500 years. That's why the Negro in America is the worst Negro. In terms of being messed up in the mind, the Negro in America is absolutely destroyed in the mind, because Esau's just been there, just pumping their brain full of bullshit, constantly beating them down from the time you're a child. And then to a point where your parents are beating you down because they've been beaten down. And everyone's just beating you down. It's like, if you learn a big word, man are laughing at you. They think he's smart. Yeah, they don't respect intelligence. Jake, they don't, because Jake isn't seen as Jake is seen and see themselves as intellectually inferior, but physically superior, or sexuality. Oh, I got a big dick, which all that's bullshit. That don't matter. Just the raw base element in the NFL, just running into things. You know, they'll give Jake that all day long. Yeah, but the truth of the matter is, we're good at all of that. We got all of that. Jalen Brown proved that.
Brain, yeah.
If Jake wasn't beat down with this bullshit, this poison, this mental disease, the black woman is nothing more than a sexual. The only thing she uses is a sexual object. That's why that's all they are. Because from the very beginning, that's what was beat into them. You're nothing. You're just a sexual object. That's what you're good at.
Yeah. These are the scars of Esau's work.
Black man, you're nothing either. You're just there for physical labor and as to be a sexual object, to reproduce, to be a plantation breeder, and violent to each other. So that sentiment still exists today in the psyche of our people. Whereas if you read the scriptures and you read about Solomon and you find out, oh, hold on, Solomon was the man will come into Solomon for the knowledge, you realize that, hold on, where should be the wisest? And then you read about Jerusalem, how we had the orators and we had all the wise men that the Babylonians were like, yo, we need these guys. Not for their brute strength, but for their wisdom and understanding and knowledge of the sciences. Daniel and them, man. But the way Esau would teach you, we're just big dick
Grunts.
grunts that go, my nigga. You know, we're just tough dudes that run around, but we don't think. We're not thinking. No, that's bullshit, man.
Because
It's some big dick apes.
Hey, that's why they use you as fodder, man. Fodder for all these different types of things.
Dunking and that.
there's like a research, some bullshit research paper say that they published called Comparative Sociology, and they're basically trying to say that because Jake live in poor surroundings, and then also because of the fact that they suffered racism, that's the reason that they're stupefied. Basically, they're trying to basically give excuses for that. Through this paper, I'll quickly just get the main point.
But that is a reason they're stupefied.
Yeah. But they're basically trying to say like pretty much there ain't hope for them. Like,
But there ain't no hope. That is the truth. That's why the scripture says the truth is we need to be delivered from the hands of strange children. Because when you're placed into an environment, right, that is literally dumbing you down and attacking your self-esteem, yeah, the majority of people are gonna crumble under that system. That's why we need to be delivered out of this system. You have to be delivered because
you say this place will destroy us, man.
if you got a child, right, and you raise that child, and every day you come to that child and say, "You're stupid and you're dumb. You're stupid and you're dumb."
So you're gonna be stupid.
What kind of environment is that for that child's brain to operate in?
That's what he's gonna breathe.
Then on top of that, you show him that like everyone that he likes is just stupid and dumb, and they're making their money just doing stupid and dumb things. Then he just compounds it even more. So okay, this is how I need to be. So in a way, it is true. It is a social, but who created those social circumstances?
Esau.
Because that's how they want Jake to be. Because it forwards their idea of so-called white supremacy.
Then you oppress yourself.
Even though a lot of them are dumb as rocks. Anyway, even with the
and that's what I was going to add, if I may, because one of the things he does, we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, is he does a lot of gatekeeping, a lot of what's the word? Where he's basically creating all of these systems to keep you down. Subversion and stuff like that. Because Jake, you be working around Jake. Jake be smart as hell, but then he will just get in the way, right? He will, like, for instance, crack in the neighborhood. Like, nope, you're getting too smart. You're doing this, right?
We got a smart one.
We got a smart one, and that's what they'll do, man.
Yep. 100%. And it's like
control.
Yeah, control. And even like, because you mentioned earlier on about the AI unlocking jobs. That's already kind of happening now, because when you add in your CV into a thing, it's actually being automatically read and processed by AI.
That's what I'm saying. When he said we're gonna get rid of DEI, then at the same time they're talking about AI governance and they're talking about merit. Understand that what he's really telling you is, all these racist science that we invented is coming back in a big way, and it's gonna come through these AIs, man, and they're gonna judge you by your IQ. And unfortunately, according to their science, a large part of your IQ comes from your genetics. That's what they're, and then they've already decided that if you're a Negro, you're of a lower IQ, man. As simple as that.
It's like these so-called white people that are down and out, man. They feel like they're entitled to something because they're kingdom, right?
Yeah.
So they do this whole merit system. It's like, you Jake don't deserve shit, but they deserve it.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna be on board with it. You know, that's how they feel about it. You know.
Yeah. So, right. So it says Helper was a unionist and had opposed slavery. So this was written by a guy that opposed slavery.
One of
them good ones. Yeah. One of them good ones. Them allies. He had opposed slavery, but came to resent northern efforts to turn southern freedmen into citizens. Sections of his book bore titles such as "The Negro's Vile and Vomit-Provoking Stench."
The worst thing about it, the way Esau is treating us, he might complain about what we smell, but bro, look at you doing us, bro. You treat us like animals.
He put us in them circumstances. What the fuck?
You know what I mean? How you gonna say that? You man still baby smelled funky, man.
Yeah. The bathing smell funky. That's not like a bar to me. Bathing smell funky. That's great.
Yeah, he had to run into a bathroom after the Edomite. come out like
When it rains around the Edomites,
smell like the stink bomb's gone off, man.
when it rains, bro, and around them blonde Edomites.
Well, we're gonna find out how they smell when we put them in them pits, blood. Pits. Yeah,
They
and then
got
we're gonna find out who got the vomit. Well, you want me to vomit against mention me because I ain't gonna be around it like that. Someone gonna tell me about it. 'Cause you know me, man. I can't be around that kind of thing. Don't come around me.
He's the same man that invented fucking like 48-hour deodorant. It's like, bro, like, are you showering? What's going on?
Bro, they're just dickheads, man. It says, and black nobodies. In the latter, he provided exhaustive lists of accomplished people throughout all history, which again, the AI is going to sift through information and he's going to come up with Esau's information.
Yeah.
That, there weren't no niggas that did anything.
Because he's the one supplying the information.
Because, there ain't no Negroes, So in the latter, he provided exhaustive lists of accomplished people through all human history. Statesmen, historians, philosophers, artists, explorers, and dared the reader to offer the name of even one Negro whose achievements would deserve inclusion.
Come on, man.
Another chapter contrasted the innate beauty, and it's going to go into say again the innate beauty of the white woman. That old chestnut. So this is what I'm saying right now. What the elder Yashawamba, they man asked AI to do a self-portrait, and I swear it looked like Darwin. It looked like Darwin, man. I'm not even joking.
Crazy.
This is what's coming down the pipeline for you, Jake. They're about to show you that all that hardcore racism that you thought was gone, the whole time they just been building a system to reintroduce it just even worse. That's what the new world order is. It's hardcore racism and tyranny, even worse than it was on the plantation.
Just based on the science.
And now it's based on the science.
There's no emotional racism involved. Just the AI, because it's neutral. AI is neutral.
Yeah, so
right?
it's not evil.
AI is neutral.
It's not evil. It's just
stating
it's
facts.
just how it is. It's fair.
It's facts.
Precept.
Yeah, go on.
This is Psalms 62:4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly, Selah.
Hey, because you got to remember, man, Esau hates Jacob. He hates us, man. Like, he hates the stuff so bad, right? And so he's prepared to do anything, right, to see us downtrodden and destroyed, right? So this whole scheme that he's been building and doing this whole time, it's really just destroy it and keep that people destroyed in the mind, man. You know?
Yeah, because just to add to your point, because I remember the apostles were saying that Esau, you can't give Jake an opportunity to rise up. He needs intellectually because they know about history. They know in times past, Jake has rose up during the Roman Empire. Jake was in them higher positions, not because there was brute force and they had standing army, but because it was intellectual. It was in the Senate and all these different places, and they built themselves up into higher places, higher forms of the Roman set up. And
we had culture and things like that.
Eventually, eventually we took them over. So Esau's like, no, we ain't gonna let that happen again. We have to keep these niggas dumbed down to the best of our ability. Just keep them dumbed down so they don't rise up again.
So this is the book, the belt, which I'm gonna do. I should sit down on this, and you see all Jordan Peterson and all these men talking about it. This is science. The Bell Curve by Charles Murray and Richard Herrnstein. According to the bell curve, Black Americans are genetically inferior to whites. That's not the only point in Richard Herrnstein and Charles Murray's book. They also argue that there is something also called general intelligence, which is measured by IQ tests, socially important and 60% heritable within whites. So, like I said, this is what Trump is going to start. The AIs are going to be operating based upon this understanding that, these blacks are low IQ, so we're gonna start governing according to that, this is how it was before. So all that equality that Jake think they have is gonna go out the window. It's gonna go out the window because you can't be equal with low IQ people. You better, listen, man.
That's how he's gonna make America great again.
We need the kingdom of heaven, man, and this is gonna be a global thing that they're gonna bring.
Yeah,
global AI governance, man, and under that AI, the AI is gonna be white supremacists, man.
Social credit.
That's social credit scores. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
This is the book of Psalms 50. We start from 19 19. I mean 16.
And what better way to measure all that if it's not everything's online,
Mhm.
digital? So you can see everything in live time, everything you can calculate, everything's just gonna be online. So you can measure everything and keep everything up to date. You can keep the, keep the poor and keep the rich, man.
Yeah, and to add to that, it's like when you have these people from these other nations that I've never met, Jake, what's their only perception of Jake that is proving what Esau says? The YouTube, the World Star, the TikTok, where for the most part Jake is just doing dumb shit, man. Doing so effectively the input that Esau's putting is these niggas ain't shit. But then the niggas
And
on
the
the
system
internet also
reflects that.
say they ain't shit.
Jake
system's gonna
criminalizing
reflect
themselves.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they're doing. They enforce those stereotypes.
And the system's gonna reflect that.
Yeah,
Why the
100%.
low scores, the social credit
And
system that they're
and
setting up.
this is why the whole world's going to agree, because they like, yeah, Jay's just a Negro. He's just a nigger, man. He's just a trash, essentially. So they're not going to really complain about it, because like, yeah, these men should be at the bottom. You know?
So Psalms 50 from 16. But unto the wicked, Most High says, what hast thou to do to declare my statute, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?
Yeah, and you had the situation with Trump when he was inaugurated. He didn't put his hand on the Bible, but you're not supposed to swear on the Bible anyway. But these devils, they ain't got nothing. They're false Christians, man. They act like they're God-fearing Christians, but really they're showing their true spirit. That's why he didn't put his hands on the Bible this time. They're actually just going to come out this time full force and push the fact that they're Satanists. They don't believe in the scriptures, man. That was just all an act. You had his wife standing there like a damn witch.
Yo, Salakia. Salakia.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just read this for you. This is according to science. Ashkenazi Jews, who make up 80% of the Jews in the world today, have on average the highest IQs of any ethnic group in the world.
How? I wonder why.
How is it
I
even
wonder
possible?
how they got that calculation.
So in a world run by scientific dictatorship, AI governance, who's at the top? Who's the high IQ? Who's at the top of that?
It's this.
And who do you think's at the bottom?
Jake.
Okay. Hey, he said it. Trump said he's gonna go back to being by merit. We're gonna get rid of this DEI. Yeah, I don't know about this affirmative action, this DEI thing. You know what I mean? We need to start putting the right people in for the job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The right
But
people
you
in
saw
for the
that
job.
at his inauguration. He didn't have no Jakes at his inauguration. They were all straight crackers, man. What happened to all them black voters and all that was backing him for the vote, the Latinos and all that? When in his inauguration,
Most of you
it
gonna
was
be
a straight
obsolete,
crackers.
and then you need to understand why they said why the whole plan of the eugenicists to reduce the population of the useless eaters.
Yeah.
The AIs are going to be eugenicists. The AIs are going to be performing what's known as social Darwinism, social evolution. The idea is that you're helping evolution, which isn't evolution a good thing? And how do you help evolution? You get rid of the weak and the dumb and the sick.
Holding back progress.
Yeah.
And it's good because just go. I'm gonna do a whole. Don't worry, I'm gonna do a whole sit down on it. But this is where everything is going: social Darwinism, social evolution, and the AIs are gonna be with that because it's part of science, the social sciences. That's what wasn't Planned Parenthood created for the exact same purpose, and Planned Parenthood still exists to this day. And Donald Trump didn't say he gonna shut down Planned Parenthood, did he? Oh. Eugenicist, man. And the AIs look like a eugenicist, man. They look like, I'm gonna show you later. They look like Charles Darwin, bro. Man, draw yourself. Man drew himself as Charles Darwin, bro. So they out to get you, Jake, to depopulate you and destroy you.
It's the New World Order, isn't it? Yeah.
You don't know. We know, but we understand before all that. That's just their mechanism. Because they're Esau. It said he had a perpetual hatred. He still hates you, Jake. Forget about the civil rights movement. Throughout the entire period until now, he always hated you and was always making a plan, the final solution, how to deal with you, Jake, man. They never loved you, Jake, man. Oh, we're all equal now.
I was watching one documentary on
Going in that water? Is there any water?
on MLK. Because when he was trying to do that whole bus boycott, there was an actual Jake that was serious about the shit and tried to offer him buses like that he was going to be paid for by actual like a so-called black man, another so-called black man, and he rejected it to basically prove a point for white acceptance. Basically, MLK's thing was all about getting
But you want
accepted by the white man.
acceptance from a people that will always
Rather than-
see you as inferior. If you, Jake, think about it this way. This is what you, Jake, need to understand. If you see yourself as inferior, and you, honestly speaking, Jake do see themselves inferior, right? They have low self-esteem. That's why the white woman is the most beautiful and always right, and the white man is whatever they say, they listen to, they give it more credence because it's been the system of white supremacy has been beat into us on every level.
Yeah.
It's like it's not. You don't even have to say it. Even when Jake say that they're pro-black, they're still white supremacists, like because it's in them, right? You understand what I'm saying? If we have that, they have it the same way. Because they're raised in this society, they're watching TV, they're going to the edge. That's why you had that Edomite woman. Remember she did that experiment, and she said, "What's her name again?"
Elliot.
Yeah, and she was saying, "Listen, if you're white, you're racist. You can't help it because at the end of the day, you're exposed to the same thing that." So what else are you supposed to think? If you're seeing that you're the only civilization is the only one that's great, and everyone else is shit, what else are you supposed to think?
The truth of that, if I can say, Zufan, is they'll all openly say the politically correct one. Yeah, but black men, they just have big so and so. So that means if they hear that and they believe that, that means they also believe everything else that they've heard.
Yeah, of
It's just
course.
the other stuff is politically incorrect to say.
Of course, they're exposed. They're exposed. Okay, there's a white woman that want to ride black dick. Most of those white women are riding black dick got daddy issues. That's why they're doing it. It's a fact. It's well known. Like they got daddy issues and they're rebelling by being with a black man because they know it upset their parents. White women are under the system of white supremacy. They believe they're superior. 100%. Like, because why wouldn't you? You're in this society. You got you watch TV, don't you?
That's why Esau gets offended when you show intellect. Man. The amount of times that these Edomites have come up to the camp and left with their tails between their legs, man.
Oh, they're surprised. Oh, this guy's got knowledge. Fuck these devils, man. It is what it is. But the beautiful thing is that none of that bullshit's gonna matter when the Lord comes.
That's why vocab doesn't want us to call ourselves Israelites.
Oh, he's the ultimate white
He knows that
supremacist.
puts us on a high intellectual level. We're not thinking on a low level.
It hurts vocab deep to the core. Two things hurts him to the core. One, that we would dare to suggest that we're superior to him. Because that totally rewires. That's like going against everything. It's one thing to say equal, because they're like the so-called white man that accept you saying you're equal, because to them it's cute.
In their mind.
Yeah. To them it's a cute thing to say.
Is that still pedestal?
We're equal. Because it's like they're allowing you to even believe that. Oh, it's cute. You know that when
mercy.
when your daughter thinks she beat you at something. I'm better than you. I'm just as good as you are,
I'm faster than you.
yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But they won't tolerate you ever saying that you're better. That is because that totally goes against the mindset. And then even worse, when you say you're better and you're excluded, boy, like, nah, this can't happen.
Yeah, but
You don't get to exclude me. I get to exclude you, and I get to include you. You don't get to exclude me. Remember when they come into camp, they'll be like, "What, can I join?" And you say no, they just lose their minds. They didn't even want to join. It's just the idea that they couldn't if they wanted to.
but you can tell them no.
How
Like,
dare you, kind of
How dare you? You're a fucking nigga. You're lucky. We freed you. You know what I'm saying? We freed you.
For us.
You'd be lucky to have me. You know what I mean? Nah, you
Got
wouldn't. You're right.
You wouldn't even be speaking English if it wasn't for me.
my granddad
That's
screwed
but
the
that's
slaves.
but don't you like having mobile phones? That's how I gave you life. That's it. That's in the that is the mindset of all of these Edomites, including the liberals. The liberals are racist as hell.
They're the worst. Salaki Zukwan is a clip. It's Ami Horowitz. Fox. That guy, but he's basically he goes to like them liberal colleges, right? And he asked them why voting ID laws are racist. Oh, because black people might not have access to the internet.
they might not know where the DMV is. And just like, what?
Yeah, they don't have to use it.
They don't know how to use the internet. Katie Hochul, the governor, or whatever position she was in New York, she would basically say they might not know.
So basically, liberals come from a place of superiority, and they're making themselves feel better by thinking they're having mercy on them. That's it. They're not coming from a place of equality. They're not. Because none of these devils think they're equal to you, Jake. None of them. It's impossible. We live under the system of white supremacy. The people who run and control the country are white supremacists, and it's the history. It's in the movies. It's the little subtle things, like when you watch Independence Day. Yeah, niggas will get a role when they're a hero, but it'll always gotta be a white man that has to put the battery in their back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Blade has Whistler. You know what I mean?
Was it Will Smith's woman who was a pole
dancer.
Stripper or whatever.
She was the first lady. He was the president. You know what I'm saying? Even Obama, the first so-called black president, wasn't fully black, according to you know what I mean. And they were looking like, yeah, he got in there because he's half.
Job 20:10. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hand shall restore their goods.
Yeah, some of them just want to feel like they're good people. So they jump on a bandwagon that, oh, I'm not racist. You are racist, man. You are racist. They are.
I want to be praised for not being racist.
You feel like you're superior, man. And you start telling them the true history of the world, they're not going to want to accept it the same way, because that will then destroy their superiority complex, which is hidden deep within them. They do feel superior. Why wouldn't they? Their entire history that they've been taught makes them feel superior, man.
They sit in a position of power.
Yeah, they're the ones that's in power. They're saying we should help them. That's a period. That's a position of power. They love it. Oh, help the poor and blacks.
And it goes back to
They need it.
yeah. It goes back to the blessing of the sword as well, because when Esau was in the blessing, you can read it.
Let's get back into who actually is in reality, who is really superior genetically.
So Genesis 25 and 23. I'll start from 22. It says, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, Yahweh. Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
So the Lord just destroyed the equality right there by deciding that one was going to be stronger than the other.
And one was destined to be subordinate, which is you Edomites, because you were the elder. Jacob and Esau, the so-called Negro, Hispanic and Native American Indians, and Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, we're unidentical twins. Not identical, obviously, because you're ugly. We're unidentical twins. You got your genetics, and we got our genetics. But guess what? Our genetics is superior. Our genetics is everything that's necessary. We've got intelligence. We've got physicality. We've got it all.
The precept to that. Sirach 33 verse 10. All men are from the ground, and Adam was created on earth. Right? We all come from the same place. It's true. But so in much knowledge, the Lord have divided them. This is what we're just reading right now. The Lord was going to separate the 2 children, and one was going to be stronger, one was going to be weaker, one was going to be chosen, and the other one wasn't going to be cast out, essentially, right? So some of them have you blessed, right, and exalted. Some of them have he sanctified, Israel, right, and set near himself. But some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out their places, right? The Lord doesn't deal with things equally. He makes decisions based on what he wants, you know. And what he wanted is to have a chosen people, a superior people, to receive all the blessings, man. And he created another a vessel to dishonor, which is Esau. Right, to put a curse and put his hatred thrust upon him.
The fool that's gonna manage the earth into destruction. Man. That's you, Esau, man. You trying to put Jake down, but we're the best for you. Fuck DEI. We're the best for the job. Do you know why? Because we're the sons of God, and the sons of God are perfect, and we will be perfected. We're gonna be perfect genetically and spiritually. Something that you will never be. You are far from perfection. You're corrupt. Your genetics are corrupt. That's why you're looking fucking old and crusty by the time you're 25. Looking crazy. You're 25 and you finished out here. Man.
Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney. Oh, Rooney. Rooney's got them Edomite genetics. Jake. Oh, man. He fucked up. Yeah, man. These Edomites, man. That's why you look crusty, man. Your genetics are faulty. Your bones are weak.
Cancerous.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And you ain't got it like that, man. You're wicked as hell. You ain't morally upstanding over anyone. You are not moral, and that's another thing they think they have the high ground on. Morality. They actually think they're a more moral people. And that's why the liberals act the way they do. Because we're more morals. We're not racist.
The most savagest people.
Savages. Low life, dirty, deviant, deviant as well.
Yeah.
The most deviant. And they spread their deviance through porn and all this. They're spreading their deviance in the world, man. These men are sexually deviant, man. When it comes to Peter, now they're trying to blame it all on Jake and all the heathen. Oh, you're coming to our country and grooming gangs. When it's proven 85% of the grooming gangs are so-called white men. 85%. But they're trying to make it look like it's people from it's the Mexicans are coming and raping people. Mexicans ain't got to come to America to rape no one. You Edomites are the undisputed rapists, man.
They call that high-ranking small hat, like the pedophile hunters that call that
Hanson, yeah.
I did not come to have sex with that little girl.
Would you think East Asia is for Esau?
Yeah.
That's literally.
Bro, Esau is the most deviant, the most rapey. This man was chopping off the vaginas of the Native American women and taking them as trophies after raping them. You're the most savage, most brutal beast there's ever been on the face of the planet Earth, and you've done it undisputedly to all peoples on every continent, and that's what makes you special. Every other person might have beef with their neighbors or amongst themselves, and they do a mad thing. You literally will do a mad thing everywhere, from Australia to fucking South Africa to fucking the whole of the blood clot Americas.
I'm gonna go find a problem.
That's why that's one thing. Like the what do you call it? The other nations. We like, for instance, you might be around some Elamites, and there's no Edomites around.
Yeah, they'll curse the Edomites out. But you see, Esau's still holding on. That Vocab Malone and these devils, they like to hold on to the intellectual high ground. That's why he thinks he can run circles around
the authority.
Because I'm authority, you got all the bro, you ain't that. Listen, Vocab, I'll tell you one thing for sure. I'm smarter than you. I know I'm smarter than you. You are not that smart, man. Because every angle you come with, I see it like 4 steps ahead of you. You're a moron. And that's why everything you speak don't work, because you're just too dumb. You're not that intellectual. You especially are not among Edomites, you're low level. You know what I mean? He ain't smart, man. You probably didn't even get a GED.
Talk about your bars.
Yeah, your bars, yeah. Man can't put the piece up themselves.
English bit like the show for you.
These guys think if they use big words, it makes them smart. The sign of a great teacher, someone.
But this is why he's got to do all the extra shit. He's got to get up. He's got to have the suit or whatever he needs to put on to, dazzle you with his image. He's got to use those big words. He got to say, oh, this source and that source. He's got to do all these things to make you believe him. Yeah, but he's nothing but a con man.
Well, the whole ultimate look. Trump is running on being moral, man.
Yeah.
They're acting like they're restoring morals. Oh, there's 2 genders and but really what they're doing is get Revelations 13. They want to put everyone in hardcore white supremacist slavery through fucking AI governance and the digital control grid. These men are evil. They're literally planning on depopulating, flipping the Georgia Guidestones, keep the world's population to 500 million.
While the rich and powerful, supposedly the high IQ, go around freely.
Yeah. These men are literally, their plans are the literally most evil, maniacal, villainous plan you could ever think of on the history of the planet Earth. They're not trying to really help everybody. Yeah. They really want to kill most of the people on the earth in order to bring in a world where they just have control of everything. So yeah, imagine that. Listen, for me to have control over the earth, like 7.5 billion people need to die. If that's not an evil,
when the Most High gave everybody their inheritance,
since when is that morally high?
and then he sticks everyone into these cities. So when Esau's talking about it's overpopulated, it is, but most of the earth is uninhabited.
Esau,
Even in England, bro.
Most
Yeah,
of England is uninhabited.
Wow.
Look at America.
Well, America, yeah, fine.
350. That's only 5
it's
times
bad
bigger than
management.
UK.
The earth is the way it is because it's managed into crisis.
Yep.
It's managed into crisis. Esau is not trying to solve problems and help people. He's trying to establish his rulership. And if that means create a crisis, he create the crisis.
Yep.
And whoever got to catch hell off that, he don't care because he's a psychopath. And he don't care. He doesn't see other people as even being human.
And it's the same thing. Like, this is why Esau spiritually is Cain in the reincarnation, because he had the same attitude, man. He had the same
Killed his
attitude to his
brother.
brother and everything, man.
Killed his
Most
own
High, he's the
brother.
Most High. Why not getting praise? You ain't doing right, and you still ain't doing right now.
You ain't a do-gooder. That's it. Okay, good.
No, thing. Gonna bring this to say, you know, like I was looking into the ICC, the International Criminal Court, like back in 2003 when they had no use for Saddam, they went after him basically off the back of like the court ruled against him as being like a terrorist and doing.
But
madness to
it's
people.
probably ruled against Bibi too.
But then it did. It ruled against Netanyahu, but then ultimately they ain't doing nothing about
It
like
don't matter. I ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah,
that same
because they're morally bankrupt, man.
Right.
But they're trying to use this Trump guy and Elon, and they're trying to put these guys as bash, and this is why people will believe in them, because the white man still to this day kind of represents moral morality, a moral high ground.
Mm.
And we're here to tell you that Esau ain't got no morality. He only has morale. And once you understand that, you won't be fooled. Once you understand that this man has no morals. So even when he tells you he loves the children, just know that's the guy killing them. That's the guy fucking them. The guy that's telling you
biggest suspect.
that's the number one. Esau, that's how Esau operates. Esau will stand up there and tell you how much he loves the
Lie to your
children,
face.
and he's the one trafficking them.
Yeah.
Well, it's new to the bottom.
yeah.
Can I read this as well?
Yeah, go on.
It's 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
That's what happened.
He likes to appear that way.
And that's the system of white supremacy. The system of white supremacy puts Esau as supreme in all things, beginning with intelligence, but also in morality.
He's Jesus Christ, right?
So even when he does immoral things under the system of white supremacy, you could wink at it because, well, if it was anyone else, they'll be worse.
Yeah.
Because he's the most moral, and it's just one-off anyway. It's a one-off because he's not normally like that. When he absolutely is.
Yeah, that's why Esau, King of America, go around and say, well, this nation can't have nukes. You know, they can't have the autonomy and all these things. But you're the one using this shit on different people, Japan, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah,
can't
think
have it.
about it. They easily just paint anyone else that don't look like them as evil.
Yeah.
Just off the bat, like, yeah, that guy's crazy. What's it called? Mao Zedong. What is that? The guy from Korea? Who's the guy that?
Oh,
no,
Jim
Kim
Kong.
Jong- Yeah, he was just
Jim
insane.
Kong.
A man, okay, he's fucking not white in it, so obviously he could just blow up the world. So what? That's the way they were making it look like. This guy's so insane, he's just gonna blow up the world.
Because he's shelling artillery across the other side to
It's like, why would he do that? Like,
he might just drop a bomb on them.
that's so cartoonish. Like the guy's so insane. Yeah,
He might drop a bomb on them. What, like you did? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here?
and that's why Esau gets the benefit of the doubt, man, all the time.
Iran can't have nuclear facilities.
You know,
Right. Because they might blow up Israel. What, you're playing double standards the whole fucking time.
and these Edomites play off that because they know there was a Edomite, yeah. He beat this woman's youth to death in the yard. Literally beat some 3-year-old to death, right? He's a drug dealer, whatever. A real piece of shit. Typical Edomite, right? Typical. And then when he went to court, right? I told you they're not high IQ. He was there on a phone call to his mother when he was before the sentencing. Yeah, because it's all recorded. Telling his mother, oh well, I'm white, I'm blonde, and I got blue eyes, and all I gotta do is cry in front of the judge, and I'm gonna get a reduced sentence anyway. So he was gonna do the whole
well, he's white, so if he did this horrible, heinous act, there must be a reason for it. You know, there must be a reason for it. Because if he was black, they're not looking for a reason. Because obviously, black is the devil. You're low IQ, prone to violence.
Yeah.
But if it's a white boy, oh, was his head hurting that day? You know, did he have a drink? Was he under the influence? Of, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he's crying. He's obviously sorry. Look at him. So, but guess what happened? The dickhead that because he's low IQ, he forgot that they record all the fucking phone calls. So when the judge heard that, he came in the court thinking, yeah, he was about to bust Kate. You know, he was gonna get reduced sentence and all that. The judge was like, yo, and I heard what you said to your mother.
Word to your mother.
So you showed me you ain't got no remorse, no nothing. She hit him with the maximum. When he found out the gig was up, he went from that humble look to just cold. Straight. It was just a mask.
Yeah.
Because really, he's a psycho. He didn't care he killed that kid, but he was willing. He knew if I put on the whole, I'll get away. People are gonna, because they know the Edomites know they have the benefit of the doubt in situations, and that's how they get away with a lot of crimes that Jake won't get away with, because Jake is the suspect. So man don't want to believe you. You have to prove it. Whereas the Edomite, they want to believe what you're saying. Oh yeah, okay, go on, yeah, I believe you. When they give their bullshit excuse for why they got drugs in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? So whereas if it's Jake, they ain't trying to hear that. You selling all the drugs in the town. You the number one, you know, whatever they can pin on you, they're gonna pin on you. Because you look like you guilty. Whereas Jake don't look guilty. And white women do the same thing too. That's why they're used to just getting away with shit. They're used to getting away, they're used to going around the world, and because they're a white woman, they just she's innocent. There's nothing she could do.
It's like that bitch that killed her boyfriend. For whatever reason. Because she was a promising nurse or some doctor or whatever.
They
wanted to let her off.
Or there was that one in Italy as well.
Thinking of,
The one in Italy. It's a famous
Kircher.
Yeah, it happens all the time because they know that they have the image of innocence. Because under the system of white supremacy, they're innocent, they're superior.
We had a Lavina Woodley there. Oxford student stabbed man and threw a laptop at him and got a 10 months suspended sentence.
Imagine that.
Didn't even go to jail.
She got man down. She was putting up points on her book.
Yeah, broken fingers and threw a laptop at him and stabbed him a couple times and got 10 months suspended.
And the AI is built in with all that. You know? Yeah. AI knows all that.
AI gonna get some.
The AI thinks you Negroes are the problem.
The judge said there was many mitigating factors, like she was overcoming a drug addiction, so she couldn't go to jail because she needed support. So
the AI gonna go through them crime statistics and be like, "Yo, these niggas are the problem."
What they say 5413? What's the one on Twitter? They always say that the code for Jake.
Yeah.
It's like 5413, 54% of the
It's
crime.
like all these biases through the policing and all that kind of stuff. It's like say to feed the AI.
Because who's programming it?
Yeah, exactly.
The people who are programming the AI is the Satanists, man. So it's gonna do what they want to do, and that's what these people don't realize. It's their son. They're creating their own sons to run their program.
It's not independent.
Yeah,
you know, it's not its own entity. You know, not organic. It's not organic. That's why it's artificial.
Artificial intelligence. Nah,
you know,
it's an Edomite, man. It's the sons of Esau, man.
That's it. Yeah, man.
In digital form.
It's a book of Ecclesiasticus 14 and 7. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare.
It's always an ulterior motive.
Yeah, the DEI and the affirmative action was set up for what's happening right now. It was set up. Yeah, we're gonna do this DEI, and it's gonna cause a problem. We're gonna make make the normal everyday cracker jealous and angry about it, so that later on down the line, and we're gonna highlight some black lesbians and whoever got the job that weren't supposed to get the job, so that we could turn around now and just rip all that shit away and come down hard on these niggas. But when niggas heard about the affirmative action, they were jumping for joy because they thought, what? Esau's making everything better now. No, it was never meant for that. He was setting you up for them down the line. He was hitting, you know, he was gauging you to hit you with that big right hand, man. And now it's happening. Trump said, done with that DEI. It's over. It's going to be based on merit now.
And you have a lot of Edomites that are pissed off at Jake that are, because Esau's down bad. But you get Jakes right now in this world are doing good. Like certain Jakes living in like New York, they'll be on like we talk about software devs. And if you're a Jake, that's like 300, 400 grand a year.
So you know what they did as well? Esau so sick in the mind that he used the DEI to promote a lot of black women. Yeah, because he knows that's gonna imbalance our thing anyway. Because you can't really, you're not already supposed to have the women earning more than the men. So it's like a double whammy. Only to now rip it away anyway. Let's go and rip it away.
Yeah, but this is all social engineering, man. Like Esau, this is what he invests his time and his energy into, man. Researching how to manipulate whole populations, man.
His heart is deep.
Yeah,
This
is what they research into, man. This is what he's executing right now, and he can't do it overnight. It takes time for these things. So you don't necessarily understand the play. You think, oh, he's helping me, he's helping us, he's helping black
things are
people.
changing.
He's helping black people, right? But he's setting you up. He's setting up play by play to set you up, man, to cause more chaos, man. And the funny thing is, man, based on merit, right? We keep saying that. If Trump took an IQ test, but I bet he fucking know, man. And he's the most powerful man on the fucking planet, supposedly. You know, he don't deserve the office.
Bro, the IQ tests are designed for crackers to pass and do better anyway, and that was always known. Like what they did to the man them over here in the UK, it's a lot of IQ tests that they were doing with Jake was based upon what you're around. So if you're not around a certain you're not gonna be able to answer certain questions if you're not around it. Because, like for instance, one of the questions that they would give Jake, we speak differently in the Caribbean than we do in England, even though man are linked with England. So we don't say tap, man would say pipe. Yo, turn on a pipe then. That's what if you hear how my granddad speaks, like my kids and that, they struggle to understand what he says. I know what he's saying perfectly. They'll say stuff like the upper side, the lower side, you know, all them kind of something. Them, you know, them man are from the yard. But that doesn't mean they're dumb. What they're saying makes perfect sense according to the way they speak. And it's the same thing with the Ebonics. The Ebonics was based upon low IQ English speakers from England, where the higher level Edomites adopted a different form of English. So they use different words. So if you give a person an IQ test and the wording matches up more with this person, they'll answer the questions properly. So here, the one question would be like, what would you do to, where would you get water from in a tap or something? The kid from the West Indies don't understand the question because they don't know what a fucking tap is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they would get the question wrong. And then and they got the test from America, by the way. So then when Jake started failing these IQ tests, they were sticking them in the schools with the Down syndrome kids. When if the question had said pipe, man would have answered it perfectly. Because man know what a pipe is. Because sometimes there's differences in culture and what you're exposed to as to how you speak. Like when I come to England, I'll tell you a funny story. When I come here, man was taking me through the school, right? And he said, over there's where you get your school dinners. And I remember thinking to myself, fuck man telling me about school dinners, bro. I mean dinner at home. You feel me?
True. Yeah, because even in England, I get like you go say supper to someone in the north, that you're talking about a very different meal.
Right. So I went hungry that day. Because I didn't know what to do. Right? And then it was like, my mom was like, yeah, but school dinners is lunch. I'm saying, well, why don't they call it in months, right? It's lunch. So if manager said, but see, this is how they design those IQ tests, man, to where Edomites from a certain background will do better than someone that's not from that background, because they're just not exposed to certain things. They're not reading certain things. They're not, you know what I'm saying? So how the hell are they gonna pass this IQ test? That doesn't mean their base level of intelligence is low. But
and then that's where, like, for instance, especially if the examiner is pedantic as well. I remember there was a biology test my friends did when we were in school. The answer was soil moisture. They said water, and it was wrong. It's like, bro, why? It's like, bro, you've been an ass.
Yeah, Esau knows how to doctor the thing, and like I said, a lot of it goes down to environmental factors. You know, how you're raised, the kind of things, wordings, things that you influence. Out, you can read an encyclopedia. You'll be a smart kid if you read a lot of encyclopedias. But if you don't, then if you ask them certain questions, they're not gonna be able to answer. But then there's certain things that would show their intelligence differently. Like if you give them something and say, work that out. work up how to put this. Then you say, oh, they are intelligent. They just don't know what that fucking word means because they're not being introduced to that word. So fuck Esau, man. Anyway, fuck you, Esau, man. You know what I mean? That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna put you to the ultimate IQ test when you're in them pits, man. You see how you figure out how to get to sleep with all them fucking pains, them whip stings on your fucking back, man. Figure that one out.
It's either preset.
Fucking devils, man.
This is Habakkuk 2:15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness.
And that's what you see. The ghettoized Negro is a product of the so-called white man. I'll give you another story, actually. Because listen, man from the islands are very intelligent, man. Very intelligent. And sometimes you have to know what they're saying to realize that man's speaking wisdom. Like you could speak to some old Rasta man and they got knowledge. They see things and they understand things, but they don't speak like English. So you just think them man are chatting shit if you don't know what they're saying. I remember my a woman I know, she was involved in the government in Montserrat and all that stuff. She's a go-getter, yeah. She told me one time they wanted to build a new post office in Montserrat, right? So they brought in some Edomites with some degrees from England to come sort out how to build this, right? And they decided to build this post office, right? You know, there's a thing we call a gut back home, a gut. Yeah, gut is like what's it? Well, I don't know. They don't have them in England. A gut is basically like when it rains, the water just rushes down. It's like a valley kind of. It's a gut, yeah. We call them guts. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a word for it. Like, and then so you got this gut, yeah, and then they put the post office here, and then my man came and said to them, listen, like, yo, you can't put the post office there because like 10 years ago, one time it did rain a certain way, and then the water just cut through there and bust it way. Them man are like, oh well, them man are geologists. Oh well, we got a degree. And the man said, yo, where water go once, it will go there again. Yeah? But the thing is, yeah, something like that, yeah, like to a person that hear it, it'd be like, them man are idiot. But what he's saying is actually science, it's intelligence. If the water at one point found its way down that path, just because he didn't do it yesterday or they didn't do it a week ago, there's a good chance that if the same circumstances happens again, it will go there again. Maybe not a good idea. So, but them man obviously listen to the scientists, yeah, the white man from Oxford and all them things, yeah. So they built the post office. Long story short, not long after they built the post office, it's a fucking island, a big storm come, big rain come, and it just dashed away the whole fucking post office, man. It just mashed the whole thing up, yeah. All the fucking packages that were in there got washed away and all that. And man's like, see? But them man got degrees. They got the high IQ. But my man ain't got no IQ. No, you know what I mean? He ain't got no degree. But he knew that where water go once, it will go again. So it's all this bullshit about IQ, man. Fuck Esau, man.
It's like Esau, they'll build like a building near a volcano. And they'll call it, oh, it's dormant, don't worry.
Fault lines, earthquakes happen.
But that's a prime example of how, and then you know what, man? People will worship Esau and not understanding that doesn't mean you got a high IQ. A high IQ person would have understood what man's saying and said, hold on, you're right. If water did go there before, it'll go there again.
That's natural.
It's natural.
Cycle.
But it's observation, it's understanding. That's intelligence, man. But they'll say that man was an idiot, you know? What does he know? He can barely speak English properly.
It's like those guys that build houses when the hurricanes and the tornadoes roll through, every season or whatever, man. It's like, why are you living there? Why would you build there?
Go on. It's the book of Jeremiah 10:16. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the Lord of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name.
Yeah, we're a portion of people. Now, a lot of people read that wrong, where it says former of all things. I think it's talking about us. No, it's talking about the Most High. The Most High is our portion. Yeah, and
God is a God of knowledge.
Yeah, I got it. He's the former of all things. So that's what makes us special. And the Lord has blessed us with knowledge, wisdom, understanding above all nations, man.
Yeah.
Now, has he given Esau certain knowledge and wisdom? Yeah, so that he could destroy himself. Listen, you give an idiot a gun, he will shoot himself in due time. Esau has been given everything that he needs to destroy himself, to be taken in his own craftiness, man.
Yep.
And that's what we're witnessing. We're witnessing a guy getting puffed up with knowledge, shoot himself in the foot like Cheddar Bomb. That's what this is. Building a bomb and blowing himself up. That's what we're seeing with Esau. Self-destruction.
Yep.
Thinking he's being slick and thinking he's being smart, man. When you should have just chilled. Go on, huh?
This is the book of Deuteronomy 33 and 29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellence.
Right, we're going to be saved by the Lord, man. So for all you Jake out there who think that your salvation is going to come through some kind of political process, you got Jake out there thinking, oh man, I just need to get through these 4 years. We got to vote some fucking Democrat back in to save us. You fucking moron, man.
Same cycle.
Didn't you notice that they all turned up to man's inauguration? They were talking about this man. Both sides. Think of it. You got my man Biden calling Trump every name under the sun. If this guy gets into power, it's the end of civilization. It's this, that. It's like this guy Satan himself, right? Trump's doing the same thing on the other side. He's a criminal. They're talking so much smoke about each other that their followers can't even stand next to each other because they hate just fact that how could you like that man? You know, men are headbutting each other, busting off shot because of how, you know,
Tension,
then it's like, oh, my man won.
Well done.
What's up, homie?
Yeah.
Man comes sit next to man. Yo, what's good? You good? Yeah,
So they even Biden left a little nice note for him on the president's desk.
But hold on, you said if my man came in,
So
it's the end.
Yeah.
So what? So what are you doing at my man's ceremony? If anything, the man should be protesting now. We ain't going to no fucking inauguration. We don't respect this guy.
Not be in power.
Yeah. You wouldn't turn up. You wouldn't. You just be like, fuck that. They turned up because they're all yes. You know, yes. The plan is going, and they sat there all chilling, taking part of the ceremony like they were cool.
Yeah.
Because they're all part of the same game. Oh, they're upset that Trump is him. No, they're not. They're fine. They're cool. They already knew that Trump was going to win before you did.
Yeah, exactly.
They were just playing the games because the games is over now, and now they ain't got to say nothing about him. Obama turned. Why the fuck is Obama there? You don't even rate, man. Why are you turning up if you do man's inauguration? You don't rate, man.
Yeah.
Because that was all bullshit.
Say it again, it's Hollywood. It's the show.
So that if you ain't supposed to be relying on no political party or political system or Esau for salvation. The salvation is going to come through Yahweh Shai. He's our savior. He's the one that's going to lead us into green pastures. Esau's only desire is to lead you, Jake, into abject destruction and slavery. And that's what the MOTB is all about.
Yep.
The only thing Esau has to offer you, Jake, is death or slavery. That's it. There ain't no other option.
Isaiah 30 verse 1.
What, you think he gonna have use for these entertainment niggas in the New World Order? He ain't got no use for these. Even in the real world, he ain't got use for them. You just sacrifice them and get rid of them. He ain't gonna have use for none of these sellout niggas. What for? What they for? That whole entertainment thing was for a purpose.
Do the elite even watch entertainment like that? Because I've never seen a Rothschild go to the NBA game. Sitting there in the front row, like every Rothschild back in the day watching NBA.
They're listening to 6ix9ine.
Man, that's the lower level.
That was there to get you people programmed and to take things up to where they are now. They don't need all that destruction in the New World Order.
Isaiah 30 verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with a covering. And not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You, Jake, man, you just trying to live good in America or live good in this world, and you don't consider your sins. You don't consider Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And it don't work like that, Jack. You ain't gonna get the life that you want to live by living the life you want to live. You know what I'm saying? So you want to commit adultery, you want to be murderers, you want to be thieves, you want to be idol worshippers, you want to do all wickedness under the sun, but at the same time, you want the kingdom of heaven to be laid open in front of you. You want all the carnal benefits, which is what Esau's promising you. You want all the money and everything that no. You have to be obedient unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to receive of the good things of this life. And that's what you're going to have to learn. Esau's not going to provide for that for you anyway. Esau's just going to bust your head. And that's what's coming down the pipeline. And right now, you think the heat's just on the Hispanics, but the heat going to come on everyone. Even these Edomites, Esau's going to put heat on. Hey, you better, you Jake better wake up, man, because this guy's got this thing's going to move fast, man.
Yeah. Got this real quick. Luke 9:23, and he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whosoever shall save his life shall lose it. But whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it.
People are going to take that chip because they think that what Esau has to offer is the salvation of their life. They're going willfully be, they want to take this, man, because this is it. This is the kingdom of heaven being laid out before me. Because that chip's going to represent no more debt, no more taxation. Yeah. Hey, but we're going to be like, nah, we're all right, man. We want what the Lord has to offer, man. Because we know, we've read about what the Lord offers, and that's great. I know what Esau has to offer. Esau has to offer. I don't want what Esau has to offer. I don't want to be under the complete control and rulership of a psycho that hates me. I don't think that's somewhere that I want to be. It's bad enough as it is now. Am I going? Nah. Remember one Jake? Well, he wasn't a Jake. He could be. Probably a heathen telling me about, oh man, if Elon Musk went to Mars, I'd go with him. I said, bro, you
Everyone is fucking Event Horizon.
yeah. These people are insane.
Yeah, man.
You know, man, that dude have you hogtied.
Oh, man.
Yeah, have you hogtied and analyzed quick, man. These people are Satan, man. Esau is actually Satan. Do you understand?
Being that they're alone in space.
Ain't nothing good for you're gonna get from Satan. We ain't riding with Satan no way, man. You gotta stand on this. Get Revelations 13, man. That chip is coming, man. They're gonna bring chaos, and they're gonna listen. We're gonna do an algo on it. All the things that they themselves have exposed is evil about the society. The chip is gonna undo all that, and that's why people are gonna think, oh, everything's changing, because we live in a debt-based system, right? And everyone knows that, oh yeah, the central bank, they're gonna get rid of that because it's designed for that. They're gonna have to get rid of all that debt because it's gonna explode. They want it to explode because the new system is not gonna be a system based upon debt. It's gonna be a system based upon allocation of resources. So they're gonna sell it to you. Oh, well, there's not gonna be no more debt. We're not gonna have no taxes. Of course, there won't be no taxes because the government is gonna control all the resources anyway. So what do they need to tax you for? They're just gonna give you a CBDC, and it's going to have your allocation of water, energy, or whatever the case may be, and that's it. Universal basic income. So they're going to bring massive amounts of pain in order to convince you that taking that chip is the better way. It's going to be equality. No more of all that human hatred. It's going to be by merit. It's going to be equal. All this consumerism. We're gonna save the planet. All that just means you're gonna get the bare minimum, the recommended daily amount of calories. You're gonna get the bare minimum of everything, and when the system decides that you have to die for the system to continue, you just die. You're obsolete.
So go for Ecclesiasticus 13, I'm starting from 6. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee, and smile upon thee, and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair, and say, what wantest thou?
And that's what they're doing. It's gonna be so great. It's gonna be so great. Didn't I tell you we're gonna be winning? You're gonna get tired of winning. Bro, the man came out and told you that after you vote for me this time, you won't ever have to vote again. Hello? The man said you ain't ever gonna have to vote again. What does that mean? So there's gonna be no more democratic system or something? You won't ever have to vote again. It's gonna be so what, in 4 years you could do that? Why didn't you do that in over 4 years? Yeah, because he knows he's consecrated this time to push this thing, man. You're gonna be winning. Oh my goodness, man. This is insane. Meanwhile, he's talking about, we're gonna go to Mars. We're gonna go to Mars. Go to Mars? Yo, my nigga, you got 500. How many thousand people they said are living on the street in America, man? Are you out your fucking mind? And people hear all that and it don't even clock into their brain. Why the fuck is this guy talking about spending money? Where's that money gonna come from, by the way?
How much debt?
Printing money, yeah. So you're gonna spend money and go to Mars when we already have a planet that we're fucking up right now. Yeah. Why don't we just get shit right here? We got, why are you spending money building rockets to go to Mars?
This is the thing, like any businessman, he's supposed to be a businessman, right? Yeah. You can't expand.
Yeah,
you ain't got your shit tight.
You should say shit tight. You got homeless, you got people living on the bridges in America. Families living in cars, living in bridges. He never said, yeah, we're gonna solve that housing situation with all these. No, we're gonna go to Mars. Who the fuck cares about Mars, man?
One of the records just blew up the other day.
Oh yeah.
So you ain't gonna be winning, man. They about to make you lose and make you think that losing is winning.
The elder said
upside down.
800,000 homeless people in America.
800,000. Why didn't he say something about them? He never mentioned them.
Yeah, U.S. debt is like 123%.
Well, the debt clock stopped going up here the day he came into office. It's all smoke and mirrors, man. But at least he now, there's 2 genders now officially. Yeah. Well done.
Stating the obvious.
He's a hero. Oh man. Yeah. Go.
And he was shamed.
Apparently he's going to stop the war in Ukraine.
After it's been going for how long? It's a joke thing, man. Which he's not the one stopping it. See, so if they did stop the war in Ukraine, it will look like he did it. But it wasn't him. It was already pre-planned when it was going to start and when it was going to stop. Like. Yeah. But then it will make it look like, oh yeah, okay. So Trump really is the savior. He really is. Take this freedom chip. Yeah, man. The MAGA chip. The MAGA chip. Totally not globalist. Totally. That's why you go to take this anti-globalist microchip.
Well, I mean, that's sort of the same spirit they came in with the Maxine, man. It's like after you get your jab, you're gonna go back to partying, your bars, pubs, clubs, everything's gonna go back to normal,
Which it ain't. That fucked up a lot of people. That laid the groundwork for where we are today. The pain. You notice in a lot of places are shutting down. A lot of stores are shutting down because a lot of businesses, they were limping forward, small businesses. But the big businesses are going full steam ahead. Yeah. They open up more of their large, them Tesco Expresses and that. More and more of them are opening up. Yeah. And less of the smaller shops.
Yeah. And this government then goes and taxes the little small businesses in the new budget.
Killing them up even more. So they can have an excuse to bring that universal
only big business to survive.
Yeah. Only the big businesses. The billionaires. They're even showing you everyone around Trump is the billionaire boy club. Yeah. Just bare billionaires, man. Yo, what up, homie? The big boys. And then he had a meeting with Bill Gates. The meeting went well. We spoke of, MR. I was like, well, hold on, what the fuck's going on here? I thought you man said Bill Gates is a devil. Yeah. Why is my man even linking with man in his yard? Like,
good point. Bill Gates was impressed by him.
Bare billionaires out there, man. Yeah, they, and all the tech, the tech guys,
Silicon Valley dudes.
Silicon Valley man, worshiping Trump. Yeah,
100%. Just a quick verse. This is Psalms 55 and the 21st verse. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords.
they coming for you people. And like in the when we did the live stream, we said that when a video I done on the NDAA and the Patriot Act, the NDAA and the Patriot Act, that's where you get DHS. DHS come out of that. TSA, the same officers you see the ICE that's going around grabbing people up. That whole goes back to the Patriot Act and the NDAA. And they're going to use these powers against the American. People think they're going to be using them against just the illegal immigrants. Nah, they're going to come down on any and anyone, man, that comes against what's about to go down out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember, DHS bought $1.6 billion point bullets, man.
Ecclesiastes 13 and 7.
Didn't no one get Revelation?
Yeah, I'll hold it. Just waiting for Boris to finish.
And he will shame thee by his meats until he have drawn thee dry thrice, and at the last.
Yeah, they used you, Jake. Jake, to work and work and work and build your own prison. That's all we've been doing. When you really break it down, that's all you've been doing, Jake. And you drank some liquor along the way and fucked some bitches. But the whole infrastructure that's been built in America didn't get built by robots. It got built by people, engineers, and the little man building the infrastructure. What they've done is get the people to build their own prison. Then they close up shop on you. That's what's happening. Yep, back into slavery now. But I thought I was free. No, you weren't. We just needed you to just shut up and just build. Go to work and build. That's what we needed. Now we got what we need. You can either die or whatever.
But we gave you a job,
Gave you a pharaoh.
The last he will laugh thee to scorn afterward. When he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee.
That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna be like, these dumb people, man. They thought we cared about them.
Yeah.
They lock once they ever locked your ass into this new system.
The allies. The allies.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was it, yeah?
Yep.
Let me grab this as well before I get the revelation. This one,
And another point is because showing you niggas was so dumb, you were so busy focusing on, dumb stuff like whether somebody could call you a nigger or not. And my thing has always been this, because I grew up, when I come to this country, I grew up around Edomites. And my thing has always been this: I prefer when an Edomite hate you openly than when they hide it. Because just because someone don't call you a nigger doesn't mean they don't think you're a nigger. Those are two different things. Now, if all you care about is them calling you a nigger, guess what's gonna happen? He's gonna not call you a nigger, but when it comes time to undermine and destroy you, he's gonna be right there. When I know that, you know what I'm talking about. When we was grow up in Dagenham, bro, there was just bear crackers that we call you a nigger, this guy, coon, packy, all that stuff. Yeah, it was cool. All right, cool. I know who you are. I know what you are, so I deal with you accordingly. Then all of a sudden, I think maybe when we got to around the age of like 14, 15, all the races disappeared. All of a sudden, if you want to find a racist in Dagenham, you can't find one.
But yeah, they're still there. You know they're there.
They all disappeared. Just
migrated.
Yeah.
How?
You ever notice that if you want to find a racist, you can't find one?
Yeah.
How many people will openly say, "Yeah, I'm a racist"? No, you won't find one.
Didn't all just drop dead.
What? But what are they thinking in their minds, though?
You know what?
And this is why the idea now of get rid of political correctness is so powerful, because this whole time, most of these Edomites have been thinking, yeah, but he's a nigger though. Like, why are we advocating for these niggas? Like, why are all these niggas on TV? I don't want to watch niggas on TV.
Oh, my EastEnders back.
Yeah, like what's going on? But when they go out there, oh, you white, my yeah. They can't just call you,
Yeah.
you know, because they know if
Yeah.
I say the word nigger,
Yeah.
it's a race. What do they call it? A
Racist term.
racist term,
Racist
and
term.
I can get arrested.
Yeah.
But does that mean they love you? And this is what Jake needs to understand. Whether a man speak it or not does not change what's in their heart. Just because someone doesn't say something racist doesn't mean they're not racist anymore. And that political correctness, just because someone gets on the TV and speaks in a politically correct manner, doesn't mean that's what they actually think and believe in their mind, man.
I've appreciated that.
Politicians show that all the time, no?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a prime example is when the Jakes go and play football and don't score a penalty.
Yeah.
Like in the Euros.
And it starts
And it all
leaking.
comes out fucking Pikayo.
But that's the ones that can't control themselves.
Yeah.
There's a whole bag of them that are thinking it that just won't say it, man. Because they know you don't say it.
They want no problems. I need
like,
to keep my job.
you know what, man? That Monday morning, man, when missed the penalty, I came to work, man. The work office was quiet.
Bro, you know when they had them riots, over the Southport thing, and I went into work, you could see that Edomites would turn up, but they're not gonna say nothing. And I remember one time when I told you when I got in a taxi, and it's like I could tell they started to sanitize what they were talking about. They were like, yeah, Romford, it's changed. And I know what they were talking about before I got in there. And before I got in there, I can guarantee you that conversation wasn't politically correct. But when I got in the cab, it all became politically correct, innit? But I know how these men feel because you don't stop being a racist overnight, man. No, the reason you stop being a racist is either one thing. Either the government said you're going to be punished for speaking a certain way, or there's enough niggas in the neighborhood that you're going to get fucked up. And that's really what happened in Dagenham. There was enough Negroes now that if you say calling someone a nigger, you're going to get punched up. So all of a sudden you don't say it. But it doesn't mean that you don't believe it. And so political correctness destroyed Jake, because Jake started thinking that, well, there's a lot of, the tide's turning, the anti-racism is on our side. Not knowing the whole time they're building a system for your scientific extermination and destruction. The same people, Joe Biden, all these, Joe Biden's a racist, bro. But he don't get more politically correct than Biden. Oh, I love black people. And then if someone says a nigger, that's terrible. That's terrible, atrocious. This guy, Slaki, I'm ranting here, but the football guy that owned the basketball.
Oh, him,
Sterling, Donald Sterling, perfect example. He got recorded and he said exactly what it was. He said, listen, white Jew and black Jew is not the same. He said, it's just the way of the world. Yeah, racism is what it is. Black people are different. He said exactly what the reality of the world is in it. He had to sell his thing and they came down on him like a ton of bricks. But the point was they had to do that to make it look like that's not going on. That's just Donald. No, that's all of them. It's just Donald got caught on the hot mic and that was it.
If I remember correctly, he actually got off better. Like the point of sale, he actually came out of it green.
But they had to try and make it look like they were punishing him. But just because the system's punishing someone for being racist doesn't mean the system is not racist or run by racist people. It just means that for now, you got to keep this racism on the low. So they don't want you to run around calling blacks niggas to their face. You got to let these niggas think that
Pacify them.
that we're we're a part of, they're a part of this thing. Now you got a MAGA hat on and looking crazy when them man believe that you're a monkey. It's crazy.
This is Ecclesiasticus 12:16, and enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
And that's what they're doing. The whole purpose of the America, ever since they did the whole emancipation, was all about how they're going to get to a point where they can put these Negroes back in hardcore slavery, have them under complete control. That was it. How are we going to throw them in a pit? And if we got to give them some civil rights to do it, we'll give them some civil rights. Keyword, they gave you the civil rights. And the same person that gave you them civil rights can take them away. Jake still don't understand that. You have no power in America. If you had power, you would have gave yourself to civil rights. In fact, realistically, civil rights is not what you wanted. What was really in your heart was revenge. You had to accept civil rights. Because ain't nobody watching their mom get raped by a cracker, right? Don't want to kill the dude.
Exactly.
But if you have to accept the £500, you're accepting it. Really, Jake within their heart would want to get revenge, but they know that they can't take revenge.
Not realistic.
So they have to accept the next best thing. Oh, just allow me then.
Peace.
Please.
It says, he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
There you go. And that opportunity is fast coming, where they're going to stick it on. They're going to say, okay, enough is enough. We don't need to play no more games. Hey, start wiping these niggas out and chipping the rest of them. And it is what it is. They're going to have to accept this new world order and what's going on. We're not playing no games no more. And that's what's going to come. And that's when you're going to see the true face of the beast, of the animal. And then you're going to look left. You're going to be looking for that Edomite. Where's them Edomites that love black, you know? And you're going to find out they never existed. You're going to find out that was all the show. Oh, you thought the Democrats liked you, or you thought the Republicans liked you. That was all.
Well, I think bro was reading it earlier. They should change their countenance. They're gonna change in front of you, man. You're gonna realize this wasn't who I thought this was.
Ain't nobody was with you.
In fact, it speaks about that here. The countenance changing.
Okay.
It says, I'm gonna keep reading it.
Yeah.
It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
So it's all an act, man. He's pretending to be, to be for you, to help you develop and progress and to become equal. That's all an act, man. His true goal is to destroy you and to enslave you, man, fully.
Well, a prime example, remember again, when the Maxine was out, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the outcasts.
But we didn't
They're probably gonna do that with the chip.
For so long, we've let down our fellow black brothers and
Democrats, man.
And then the craziest thing is when like certain company men of these companies like Pfizer and that get interviewed, they'll actually ask me, so have you been jabbed first? Like, nah, because there's more people, more Eagles the devil.
So merciful, but
like if they were really, like if their life was really in danger, they wouldn't get that.
Yeah, man.
But like I said earlier, man, Esau's got a perpetual hatred for us. Perpetual. It doesn't end. It just keeps going, man. And so even if he's smiling in your face, he got daggers ready, man.
It says he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance.
What Esau wants is to be a god over us forever. That's what they want. They don't want equality. They want supremacy. That's what their goal has always been: supremacy over everyone else.
Well, that's America's mantra by itself. America's supremacy. They want to be the top hegemony, right?
Yeah.
They want to be the greatest nation on the planet. That is the mindset Esau in its totality, man. And so it doesn't differ from these other Edomites, man. They can't accept being lower.
Right.
Yeah,
Trump said it, man. America first.
I remember, I think it was the elders. Someone said it. Even homeless Edomites will look down on you, man.
They're proud. They're still proud.
I've seen it before.
Yeah, you see, here it is. Like you look. They'll be looking at him. Oh shit.
Yeah, because guess what? They'll be boosted by their supposed history and their legacy as a people, and they'll be like, "Well, my legacy as a people is better than yours. You just got Jordan."
But this is why when you get them racists that say, "Why does it matter if the Lord is black?" This is what.
Yeah, his legacy.
Yeah.
Who's that? Obadiah verse 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Yeah, and that's the mindset of Esau Edom, man. They don't believe that anyone is going, because they've had the upper hand for a long while. They've had the upper hand in this earth for a very long while. Globally. Just pulling the strings, man.
And you know, when you're winning for a certain amount of time, it's easy to forget what it's like to lose. Esau ain't lost in a long time.
It's like what you mentioned earlier. It's like they have to be in the top spot. They won't allow nobody else to come to that spot, no matter how good another nation might be doing and how much innovative they may be, or how good they might be for the earth may be. America cannot have it. It must be them. It must be them.
Bro.
No other nation could come out. It must be them.
China, if you look at China, right?
Mm.
Oh, China's a rival to
Communist.
America. Bro, first of all, communism comes from Russia, okay? First and foremost. Secondly, it was America that went over to China and opened up China to the world. This is a fact. This is a fucking fact. Yeah, and it's the American multinational companies been making bank out of the cheap labor out of China.
Yep. Slave colony.
So whichever way you slice it, the Edomites have been running this shit.
Wow.
That's why they're so proud, because they've been running a massive game in the world, and they've been very successful at it. Very successful. And they're about to complete the New World Order according to where they see it. It's nothing that's happening is working against them. What's working against them? There's only one thing working against you, and that's his truth. If we didn't exist, Esau's about to wrap this shit up. 100%, because these people,
They're ready.
they all this technology that's come up in the East. The East is basically a reflection of the West.
Yeah.
They didn't come up with to do all that shit. They working with Esau. Okay, Esau's pulling the strings, man. The elites are pulling the strings all over the world. That's why they're so proud, because they've been pulling the strings for a long time and being successful. But they don't understand that the Lord's pulling their strings.
Well, got this from the London Stock Exchange. Wealth distribution by race worldwide varies across the world, with white households generally holding more wealth than other racial groups, and it focuses on the US and the UK. White families have the highest median and mean family wealth. In 2022, the average wealth of a white family was more than $1 million, higher than that of
Average.
average in 2022.
And then when you really look at it among the Edomites, most of that wealth is only between a few of them. And that's where you got to look at who makes up the elites. And then you have to remember one thing as well. There's different levels of wealth, and there's also power. Because, for instance, let's name a black billionaire.
Dr. Dre.
Right, Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre doesn't have power because he can't pick up the phone, right? And even really affect the music industry. He's not the most powerful man in the music industry. Right?
Yeah.
They have the power. And then on top of that, he doesn't have the power overall to affect governance. Real shit. But he's a billionaire, but he's really a paper billionaire. Because most of his wealth is tied up in assets that he can't access. So, why don't Dr. Dre's billionaire? Dr. Bear is a billionaire, but I guarantee you, look at his account, his actual bank account, and how much money he has liquid to actually spend. It's a couple million in there. Most of his money is in shares, and he has to sell shares or get loans off the back of those shares to actually have liquid capital to do shit. And there's a lot of rich people that are really only rich based on assets, and it only takes a stock price to plummet and they're no longer rich. The Rothschilds are rich in everything. They got hard assets that will always be valuable, gold, whatever it is, and they have power. They got the ability to determine value. They can make something go up in value, and they can make something drop in value by a phone call. They can make sure that this company, they can make it. Listen, you could get a company today, right? Any one company. The Rothschilds can make a phone call. Your company will immediately get some crazy contract from the government, and you become a fucking billionaire overnight because your stock prices that you own. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. If people forget, Elon Musk is not a billionaire in the way of he's just got billions in his bank account. He's a billionaire because the shares in the companies he owns is worth that much. But why is his company worth that much?
Because even
Bro,
shit.
Rothschild,
yeah,
that Rothschild and Co.
Some-
They got an investment bank over 200 years old, bro. It's one of the
Oh,
oldest banks in
Them man
Europe.
have got the
Bro,
real
them man-
wealth
Yeah.
and the power. They got the power, man. They got the power
Oh,
to create wealth,
Yeah,
to
man.
to make things
Oh,
happen.
fuck.
They can make someone a billionaire. Dr. Dre can't make nobody a billionaire. He can't. He doesn't have that power,
Yeah.
and that's a difference.
And the Rothschilds bank, pretty much for the last couple of years, are just one bank of the year, coincidentally. year upon year upon year. Bro,
That's why a lot of these people, man, that you people think are rich, it only takes one stock crash and they ain't rich no more.
Yeah.
Because all their money is tied up in assets. Even them man go, oh, when you get these billionaires that will come in and buy some sports team, they think that they got unlimited money to do things. It's like, no, bro, they've got. They what do you want them to do? For them to get money to
Sell
do
the
anything,
company.
they got to sell something else that they don't want to sell.
well, to
That's why these guys ain't trying to get no strikes.
he had to sell Musk had to sell a whole load of Tesla and like a whole load of restructuring to
Yep.
be able to make that allegedly
Yeah.
to be able to make
Yeah,
that.
but if you ask the average person, they think a billionaire's got like 700 million just sitting in a bank somewhere.
It's the
Yeah,
way
man.
they make purchases as well, because what you said is a good point, because they'll see people buy these 60, 70, 80 million pound houses. Oh, he's definitely a billionaire, not understanding that the way that the rich buy houses is completely different
Yeah,
to the way that the
Oh.
average man buys. Like,
No, so I was just gonna back you and say, like, even like all the major banks, yeah, like even in US and UK all have BlackRock as the shareholder. Like every single one of them. When you look at the owner of BlackRock and the ownership structure of it, it's all small.
And that's why the system is gonna crumble. It can easily be crumbled even down to these lower level mid-class people, because even middle class people have a certain amount of disposable income. But their asset worth, they might be. You could easily have someone that's worth be a millionaire because their house is worth $1 million. It ain't hard for your house to be worth $1 million. You just had to buy a house somewhere in London like 20 years ago, and now the house is worth $1 million. That's great, you're a millionaire. But that doesn't mean that they got bare cash. They've got a house worth $1 million.
Yeah.
But what happens if you're in a situation that the house prices, someone has to buy that house for you for $1 million to get that $1 million. What if nobody wants to buy that house for $1 million? And then you get into a situation when you ain't got no peas and nobody wants to loan you money. You go bankrupt, even though you got a house that's supposedly meant to be worth $1 million. And that's what's going to happen. A lot of these people, they have assets that are going to be inflated, devalued in a way, because no one can't afford to buy them. And then you find out their real wealth starts, their wealth drops down and down and down and down, and the actual disposable income is disappearing anyway because of the inflation.
It's lucky. This bro was showing me, remember the clip you sent me, man? Like all of them multi-million pound houses in Shoreditch. That no one's buying. Because
You could have a £1 million house and be broke.
Yeah.
Because being broke is based upon the money that's in your pocket to actually spend.
Yeah.
You can have assets like farmers. Farmers is a great example. The farmers are broke, but you got a farm worth $1 million. Well, what the fuck you want me to do? Sell my farm? Then I don't have anything.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna sell their farm. They're living off their farm. So they got £1 million in assets, but they got £500 in the bank. You know? Are you gonna go buy their farm for $1 million?
Exactly.
the equipment alone is mad.
Yeah. So you can have massive amounts of assets and still be broke in terms of like liquidity to pay something off, and that's how a lot of people get into trouble.
It's like there's a comment on the comment board, which is a great example of making something valuable. It says the people who made diamonds valuable. When you look into like the De Beers family and the amount of witchcraft that they've done in terms of making diamonds valuable, even to the point, because diamonds something called a Veblen good, meaning that if it's a cheap price, people are like, why is it cheap? I don't want to buy it. So what the De Beers family did when they started getting into like artificial diamonds is on their website, they made, let's say, the real diamonds £10,000 and the artificial diamond £1,000, and then labeled it artificial, so that everyone's just like, "No, we don't want the artificial shit," you know. So it's all witchcraft. Right?
Even now, I was thinking about they're saying that now in America, now they got these. They're gonna start arresting these illegals, right? There's a few companies that stock price has gone through the roof, because obviously they're providing the buses and they're actually owning the facilities
that they're gonna store these people in. Again, through that action that Trump's done, some other guy now on paper is now fucking 500 million or some shit. Yeah, but he hasn't got 500 million in the bank. It's just that he owned this company and now the company's stock price has gone up. Dumb. You know?
Scripture, precept. It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Yeah, that's right, man. And that's what all this wickedness that they've been doing, man, this manipulation with money and assets and all this shit, man. So, yeah, hey, the Lord, it's tiring keeping track of it all. Lord's just gonna just blaze it all, and we're gonna get all the real shit, the gold, the silver, all that stuff.
So they shall vomit it up.
Yeah, man. And all this fake shit just gonna disappear as it should. Because a lot of this whole idea of wealth and all that stuff, a lot of it's just fake, man. That's how a guy can go from zero to hero overnight, because a lot of it's fake. To get a meme coin and become a fucking millionaire, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing even there. But anyway, yeah, just go back where it was. You got Revelations 13 before we close up.
That happened with was it the Trump thing?
Yeah, the meme coin, yeah,
man. And it was like a private, only certain people can invest in it.
As
It wasn't
usual.
open to the public.
It's
So
got
when it
another
went to like
scam.
100 and something million or whatever. Only certain man, caked up.
Yeah, it's just another scam. It's a fakery. And they control all that, just like how they control the elites. They control all them crypto markets and how it moves and what pumps and what dumps. I've seen it myself. I've seen it happen. You know, they control all that shit. If you think they don't control it, they do. Down to the T. They can make the markets drop. They can make it. They make it rise and fall.
It showed you in the Rothschild meeting. You know, you remember when
Rothschild with the French.
Yeah, you remember
Napoleon.
Yeah, exactly. When the false information got spread, and then after you know it, when it was up.
From when they said it was all decentralized,
Yeah,
you knew.
He was up, man.
So even really when you look at the Big Short, because remember there was
The Big Short
was like
crazy.
right there,
That
it's
was crazy.
crashed.
That was a crazy film.
You remember he was like the Michael Berry guy. He was like, it's crashed.
It's
Why isn't it like?
just
Why
don't
is
make
it still
no sense,
running?
yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense.
Scandalous.
Yeah. That film was crazy.
Yeah, it's a big game,
watch
man.
that
Even down with, they got zombie companies out there that should really be just shut down, and it's all BS, man. But what it's all gonna come down to is the MOTV, and that's what we're looking for, man. The time of Jacob's trouble and the MOTV, World War III, all that good stuff. That's what we're looking to just wrap this shit up and get the fuck out of here, man. And then we ain't gotta think about all this bullshit again. Just have a simplistic world how it should be without all the deceit and fuckery that Esau brought into it. Take this devil out of power, because it's just annoying, man. Sitting there have to break shit down and
like I say as well, you can tell that all this whole financial setup thing is a setup, because they've got so many financial institutions that's supposed to keep shit in check. Like they got the Treasury Office of National Statistics, they got the Financial Conduct Authority, and no one can seem to get it right. Which shows you that it's all literally just a design.
Which means they are getting it right. It means by design.
It's all by design. The purpose of a system is what it does.
Yeah. Right. Squeeze the little man. Like in the UK, everyone's getting squeezed. RPI, CPI, inflation, everything. More taxes, more inflation.
CPIH and all that.
Struggling to buy houses. Mortgages are just killing people, killing everyone. Everyone's dying off this mortgage, man. You know what I'm saying?
Notes, innit? Yeah, man.
Why didn't they pump money? All that money they pumped into the Iraq war, they could have pumped it into building more houses and more. But they never did that, because they knew we want a crisis. We want a housing crisis.
Yeah, because that made the immigration crisis.
Yeah, exactly. See what I mean? This brother, smart brother, man.
Yeah, man.
Shit. All that money they spent on the Iraq war, they could have spent that building up more cheap or affordable housing, council houses for the people to have.
They fund these councils more, because these councils going fucking
everyone.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they ain't even cutting the grass like that no more.
It's real.
If you're looking at the Serengeti, and then they just turn up and cut it up. But when I was growing up, grass was always cut. Now the grasses is be looking like they're going back to the wild.
The potholes and that, moon craters in the road.
And then they're gonna put up council tax in fucking April. So I'm envisioning
Because the council can't afford to
For
pay
what?
for their own stuff now.
For
Because
what?
of the government tax.
Yeah, for what? Only thing they're doing is collecting the bins.
If that, sometimes, like, bro,
Hey, there's yeah,
And then give issuing
certain
tickets.
counties you get bin collection like every 2 weeks, man.
sometimes I'm tired.
Relation.
Yeah, bins, like, small ass bins. I think that's probably the only thing that I appreciate about London. It's good to go, but these bins are bigger.
Yeah.
Where I'm staying, man, that's small as shit.
The only thing you gotta do is what I do is like, if he really gets on top, you gotta go straight to the refuse center and drop it off there.
Or
Which
me-
a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
do
You,
that.
you can take it.
You can take your shit
Yeah.
straight to, if you got a car,
Yeah.
just load your shit up and take it straight. It's free.
But he's taking your car away, so car.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie.
You got to get the
Sometimes-
Uber bike.
Yeah.
Pull that shit in the trailer.
Sometimes I have to take it work, man. Put in the work. Put in the work, skip, man.
Oh,
You know,
man.
instead of going to the waste spot.
Work, you know.
All right, just throw anything away. Just let me know.
It's Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls it all, so he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
So that's what's coming. Total control. And they're setting it up right now. Trump is setting it up. He's going to fast forward it, the AI government, because the AI, and that's what we've always been telling people. And GMS is the only ones that's been saying, look at the infrastructure. The MOT doesn't exist by itself. There's an infrastructure that has to come with that. And you,
Because essentially what we're saying, because you're talking about the cage, or you're building your own cage, right? You're trapped, right? We basically said, look at all the parts to it. Look at the structure that's surrounding you right now, right? But you're not putting it together.
and
man.
we identified AI to be part. Listen, we could go back and check the videos. And then now all of a sudden, AI is of the utmost importance to fast forward and
money's being invested into it,
and like he said, listen to the words they use: exponential. An exponential curve is flat, and then the
steep
last
rise.
part, it just, so then when you get to that last bit, it's like moving at light speed. This is how the system's going to come in. It's going to move slowly. So over a decade, certain amount happens. Then the next decade, like double happens. Then the next minute, you have in 1 year what happened in 1 decade. That's how it works.
That's how it's been, right? Since the Industrial Revolution and stuff like that, things have really been going like on a slow pace until that time.
Exponential.
And it's been going like this, and it's going to be increasing.
Well, we're going into that exponential end.
Yeah.
Because he said he's going to push and the AI governance is kind of the last piece, because in data centers, they said they're going to get the last data centers into the AI. They already got the Starlink for the connection. And they're already building up all the biometric cameras and everything here. So the only thing after that is chip, because they got the CBDCs can be rolled out at any time. They've already created a software for that. And if you notice, another thing you notice, right, when you use an app now, most apps, right, are interoperable or interconnected with other apps. Just like the banking apps are connected with everything. Nowadays, you can go on Uber and do a whole bunch on Uber. You can go on another app and do a whole bunch. Amazon, you can do a whole bunch on that. And then it will be like, oh, if you want, you could do this. Just sign in. So hold on. So you could operate that with this. So basically, all the apps here are becoming like one interoperable thing that you can just move in and out throughout. Sometimes you won't even have to leave this app to go into that app.
Uber, you can book basically every form of travel on Uber.
And groceries, a lot. Just Eat is doing groceries. So Just Eat, you can do groceries. And then on Uber, you can also do groceries. So the super app is on its way.
100%.
So then once they bring in the Twitter or whatever super app, like how they have in the East, you can really see how you can really use one app to do everything. And then you'll have one digital ID that now is linked to your Google account, linked to your Microsoft account, linked to, and then so it's one. So you could just use that and it'll be simple, because Google account now, like now, when you want to sign up to something, you ain't trying to do all my name and address. It will just have, sign in with your Google account, your Facebook account, or your Microsoft account. Fuck it, let's use my Google account. And it's already on there anyways. And it is done. Come on, we don't lie, man. You do it, man. You do it.
Yeah.
Come on, don't lie. Everyone,
You ain't on it. Fuck the new world order.
I didn't know. I didn't used to. Yeah, it was getting annoying.
Innit? What you gonna do? Use a different email and
It's like when we trying to avoid contact this and that. I avoided contact this for time, and then eventually I was like, yeah, you know, the card only. The bank said the card only comes like this.
Bro.
So yeah, fuck it, bro.
Bro, it's a conspiracy, yeah. Because one thing I've noticed is, yeah, that my bank cards don't even last long no more.
Yeah.
To the point where
Yeah, they don't.
my bank cards both my bank cards don't work right now.
Oh.
I'm operating on pure like contactless.
Yeah.
I can't even take money out of the bank.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to put the contactless ATM in there, like because these bank cards, bro. Yeah, but not in.
Oh yeah, I get
they
it.
ain't caught up. But they did. I think they used to have one, but they moved the Satan there.
Yeah.
But the flipping my Metro card,
Yeah.
bro. Every time I get 3 weeks later, the
Yeah.
chip is. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So now I have to, I got my thing on my watch,
Yeah.
I got my thing on my phone. I just use that.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, and like if you realize the contactless now, the amount you can spend per one transaction has increased now.
They're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
it's unlimited. Oh, yeah.
It's unlimited.
No, I don't think
on,
it's shit.
on your phone.
I don't think it's shit. They are planning to. Oh, on the phone it is. Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? And it's crazy because you know that place I always go and buy stuff in bulk, right? The guy was telling me because he was kind of into the phones and tech. He was like, "Nah, it's changed now." Because I said, "What? It's back in the day, it's £30, man."
No,
He said, "No, you can spend like 2-3 bills just on
On the cards, I think
because
it's
of the
£100.
two factors."
I think they get rid of it.
Yeah, but on your
Oh,
Apple,
on your
Apple
phone.
Pay, Google Pay, it's unlimited.
Unlimited.
Because you biometrically.
So they do away with that card because the card someone can take that.
Yeah.
But it's harder for them to tap into your phone.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, now you can open an account biometrically with no ID.
Yeah, so that digital ID is that universal, and they want a universal digital ID.
Yeah.
So it's respected. So that the same, I can use this digital ID for everything, including abroad, because it's interoperable systems. So if I go to America, I still can have they can identify who I am because they'll have cross connection, man. This is what the chip.
Yeah,
it's coming, man.
It's coming, man.
All the passport systems in the world are interconnected now. Sort of like, for instance, in the UK, they got rid of, so in the UK, if you're an immigrant, you get like a card, and then that card was your way into like maneuvering into the system. However, now they've completely gotten rid of the card, and they also put your visa onto whatever passport you do have. Right? Not stamp or anything, but it is a system in the back end where it says you are you. And then it's this, that, and the other. The EU's introducing an entry-exit system next year. Other countries in the world have that.
Yeah, Trump wants the one on the border.
Exactly.
Oh, so he's doing the same globalist agenda. And he's got but his one is the anti-globalist digital ID. Yeah.
Because Trump's
The American version.
Alex Jones fucking out. He was crashing out.
My war cry. The globalist.
Oh yeah.
Maybe like what's his name? Savage. From wrestling, Randy Savage. Oh, cocaine. Ooh, yeah. You finished on that? Yeah. So the only camp that really has been going into all of this technology, man, and breaking it down is GMS, and that's a fact. That's a fact, man. No one else went talking about. We were talking about CBDCs from the day one. Digital ID from day one, AI and everything we're talking about is at the forefront, man. It's at the forefront. The beast tech, the MOTB. We coined that term, the MOTB system, because we acknowledge that you got the MOTB, which is implantable RFID chip, but there's a system behind it. That you can't have the MOTB without the system. The system has to be built first, and then the MOTB. Yeah, just like you need the roads, then you put the car on the roads.
The C-HIP is like the last piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Because it's what's going to integrate you into the system.
Yes, right.
The same thing that is. You remember when the new technology for the juicy juice, when they were speaking about it, people untested. What did they say as a retort? No, we've been working on this for the last 10 years. And that's the same thing with this MOTB, right? To the unwise, it's going to come in as it's like, oh, this is the new system. But to us, we're like, nah, they've been working.
It's been built already.
It's been
around us, man.
Yeah, and it actually makes sense to like build a system first. before the chip.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Because now the chip is going to work with the system that already exists.
That's
you know?
right.
And it's just
New-
going to
new
immediately
infrastructure.
work. There's
Yeah,
not
it's
going to
gonna
be any
immediately-
friction.
Yeah,
There's not going to be when you get a new technology or like when the PS5 came out,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Xbox,
yeah.
and there was no games. He was pissed. He was like, "What the fuck is this?"
But it allows them to implement something quickly, man, because all they've got to do is introduce the chip,
Mhm.
and if it's there already,
Mhm.
you know. So in a time of chaos, man, they can make people make those snap decisions, man.
Yeah.
Those ones that gonna you make in error.
Yeah, they got the
You know?
carbon tracking system. They got everything in, man.
And a prime example is these phones. Like, you remember
Mm.
before you used to have 4 bank cards. Like, just Barclays
Yeah,
cards,
yeah,
this,
yeah.
my
They got
card.
I still got
Yeah,
4 banks.
Yeah, yeah.
Different kinds of
But then
cards.
now you
all
go on
on
your
there.
phone and you got like a
It's all on
A
there.
wallet,
yeah,
a
wallet.
wallet.
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Digital wallet,
where
yeah.
it's got everything on.
What's so not? I'm
Oh,
losing your
loyalty
wallet.
cards.
Yeah, yeah,
Your loyalty,
yeah,
it's got
yeah.
your loyalty cards.
Yeah, your
and
Nando's card and your phone.
tickets.
No, I'm not even making a joke.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah, man, I've got a Perry Tamer.
Yeah, you got it.
And tickets too, cinema tickets.
Yeah, yeah,
all that stuff.
Plane tickets as well.
Yeah, yeah. And it's hella convenient. I ain't gonna lie. I use it, you know?
Because like at least if you lose your phone, you get a new phone.
Yeah.
Just log into your Google account again.
And then yeah.
But you lose your bank card, you got Santander,
yeah,
Barclays,
Yeah,
DVLA.
yeah. Through.
It's on purpose. Once again
Yeah.
these when they make
Convenient.
things inefficient,
Yeah.
people will think that these things are inefficient as an issue. They're inefficient by design.
By design.
So that when they
Yeah.
do come in to the look, it's so much
Oh,
better now.
Even down to like I said, with my woman, there's certain things I'm like, yo, just do that, man. And I'm getting hella frustrated, like, what the fuck? And I was like, give me the phone. I'm like, hold on, where is this? And then I went to do it, and it's like, oh, you ain't got the biometrics. That's why there's certain things that the banking apps won't let you do unless you've got biometrics
Yeah,
on your
like
phone.
certain amount of payments.
So
Yeah.
you're held back.
Yeah, for real. For real, bro.
You know, me, I just got the biometrics because I ain't got time for all that, man. Fuck Esau. I
Ah,
still won't
man.
take the chip.
Yeah.
But that's another example how they push you towards that, you know,
Yeah,
preparing you
system.
for what. But you know, we're on a different level. We could use the world without abusing it.
We buy it.
You know what I'm saying? We could do it. Maybe you're, couldn't buy it. Hey, yeah, listen, them brothers in London is MOTV. Hey, but it's true. We've been using,
Cash is inconvenient now. I was just in London. It's hella inconvenient.
and everyone takes like I think it's really over the last 2 years because when they first brought in the contactless, you still go to the market, man's asking for cash, and then them
Yeah, man.
couple bookie Turkish man still trying to. They own a restaurant. They're still trying to take cash. Like what's wrong with
There's still
you?
a couple of them out
They're still
there.
trying to get that
Yeah,
tax high from the tax man. Yeah,
Even
but
the
now
that's gonna be
everyone.
everyone.
Sum Up changed the game.
Sum Up,
Company Sum Up.
and now you can just use your
Your
phone,
phone
now.
to accept
Yeah.
payments.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
everyone's contactless.
yeah.
now.
Let's see, you know.
Yeah, it's
Changed
like
the game.
if you want cash, man, are like, oh,
It's long, bro.
yeah. I'll be
That's
honest
fine.
with you, yeah. I haven't walked around with cash for about maybe a month.
Yeah.
And then when I mean
Same,
real
same.
cash,
Yeah, for real.
like, cause I can't be drawing money. I'm fine, because I could go to the market stall that's just selling bananas and that, and just yo, how much is that? Oh, £2. All right, cool. Tap that. And I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they take it now. Before they try and be
Yeah,
like,
they
oh,
tap
it's not enough, boss. But fuck off. I actually know what the fees are. Like, you could take it. Like, stop fucking about. You know, sometimes they were doing that. You know, certain shops they were like,
They're like,
minimum
you can't spend
£3. That's a scam.
Yeah.
Because if you get the sum up and them things, you find out that no, if you can spend up to £1 and it's fine. Like, but that whole you have to spend £5, it used to be like that.
Yeah, they removed that. Yeah,
But they removed that a long time ago.
Yeah,
but they keep the sign there to try and be like, oh, okay, swing on the £5. And then because my daughter was doing it, she was like, when she goes in the shop, she's like, no, I've got a sum up, yeah. You're gonna get charged with £1, right? And she's like, oh yeah, okay. That's what she was the one that put me up on game, because she does selling certain things in it. So she knew. She was like, no, like she's like, you ain't got to be in a £5 minimum. What are you talking about? They're not charging you more for that.
Right.
Take the £1, man.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, so don't listen to them people. £3 minimum. It's all, and you know who's doing it? It's the same little corner stores that do it. It's a scam. Yeah, because when you go on the market, you could buy even just a banana for £1, and man would tap. No problem. They're like, cool.
The buses be taking tips for.
Yeah. So why that man trying to say, oh, minimum £5, but fuck off, man. Trying it.
Business.
Anyway, one more scripture, then we get out of here, man. Before us man get suspended for being part of the MOTB.
I had one I wanted to bring it earlier.
But you know, in London, we've been ahead of the curve, though. You know, a lot of the stuff, the Oyster card and all that stuff, it's been there for a while.
Plus, we look at Asia for being ready for the London's ready. London's ready.
Yeah.
Ready.
100%.
Right. Just two here, right? And this, you know, an example of this has been done already in the scriptures, right? The Antiochus, right? But I'm going to read this from Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. Right? So they're promising us, you know, they're promising the world a lot of things, man. You know, the progression and equality and all these different types of things. But this is going to lead to your destruction. Right? And this is what they're setting up. You know?
And then they come like, if you don't want to be part of this new system, then you're an enemy of humanity. You know what I mean?
You want to kill grandma. Remember when they said
that?
Yeah.
That's why they're going to execute people for coming against the state, because obviously, you must be a terrorist if you don't want to get the digital ID. If you don't want to take this chip, then you must be a terrorist. That's right. You must be one of them cartel members.
Right, and I believe this is Antiochus again in 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 30, right? And it says, verse 30 says, and spake peaceful words unto them, but all was deceit. Right? It's a scam. It's always a scam, you know, getting you to adopt this new
golden age. It's going to be a golden age.
Yep. So, and when they had given him credence, you know, they give him the benefit of the doubt, kind of thing.
Credibility.
Yeah. It says, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. Because it's going to be about Jacob's trouble, man.
Yeah, they're going to come for you, man.
Yeah.
You know, you got cities like Chicago. You know, we're gonna clean it up. You know, you got a lot of thugs. You know, not all of them. That's what he said about the Eagle Raiders. Not all of them, but you got the murderers. You got the rapists. They have to be dealt with. Yeah, they're gonna deal. But who's yet to say who's a murderer and rapist, man? They're just gonna do. All right, cool.
Which once again proves it's all a scam. The way that they were allowed into the country, like if
sanctuary cities,
I mean, that's crazy. Because it's like, would you call it, like I know people that have been in the immigration system, and it's one of them ones where they always ask you your history, your criminal history, and if you ain't someone of quote good standing, they go look at your application. Like, get out of there.
And this is why it was all gaslighting. It's called an illegal immigrant because I know we know the history, but it's fucking illegal. Like, that's it. So the fact that was even in the debate about what's right or wrong, I mean, at the end of the day, if it's illegal, then it is wrong from the standpoint of the law of the land, isn't it? So for them man to be debating whether there's sanctuary, how can you give man sanctuary for doing something illegal? What the fuck is going on? Because they're doing it on purpose, man, to create this situation now. They can start cracking heads and cracking down on people, and it ain't gonna stop with the illegal immigrants. The citizens are gonna get cracked down upon too. Like and they're gonna pick a segment of society that's easy for people to say yes.
I can get on board with that.
AKA you fucking niggas on the corner that be doing wild shit on the camera and getting away with it all the damn time. They got, we need Chicago. You know, there's a shooting and every weekend terrible things are happening in that city. And it's televised. Everyone knows about it. These niggas will be getting on camera doing music videos with guns everywhere. Then it's easy to say, martial law. You're gonna fix there, but it won't stay there. It will end up being everywhere. But they'll pick, just like how they're cheerleading them because it's the cartel guys. Oh yeah. They'll find someone else for you to cheerlead for, and then it'll spread out.
You're gonna have Jake that are gonna be on board with it when it's in Chicago.
Because
they make us look bad. When you speak,
which I'll be on board with. I'll be honest with you. Them niggas do need to get dealt with. Them niggas is foul, man. They fucking shit up. But it's not gonna end with that. You know? And then it comes to a point they could just say you're part of the gang and you're not part of the gang. Who's to say? At that point, nobody cares. You look the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's all coming down the pipeline, man. The MOTB, time of Jacob's trouble. So we're gonna keep prophesying, man. We got Algo, Lord willing, tomorrow night. I gotta prepare for, and we're gonna go into the universal basic income. Because remember, who was pushing that heavily in all of his TED talks and your boy Elon Musk was pushing the need for that universal base. Now they saying they want to bring back industry to America. That ain't fucking happening. They're not. Because the plan of the New World Order is to deindustrialize, to reduce consumption, to reduce production, and reduce population. But if you're reducing production, well, you got to manage that with less jobs. That's when your universal basic income has to come into play. And that's what's going to come, man, down the pipeline. Doge, they're going to make it happen. All right. So, you know, with that, we're going to say, double honors to the apostles and elders, you know, that rule well, and honor to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching. And shalom to you brothers and sisters listening and learning and supporting the ministry. Shalom.